So, welcome everybody to Mad Lads Live. I know that it's been about a week since I did my last episode. I try to do this once or twice a week, depending on the situation. So, for those of you who were not around in the previous episodes, who are just joining us for the first time, this is a dramatic retelling or replaying of my original Let's Play that I did on the channel several years ago, Kenshi Rise of the Dwarves, which I had to discontinue because I was using Genesis and my save got corrupted. But now we're doing a replay of it on, obviously, on live stream, and it's been pretty fun. So we're about 4 episodes in, and this time in this particular episode, we are officially setting up roots. It's been 3 episodes of us going around training up our guys, getting all set and ready for us to be able to finally settle down and start putting up a base somewhere. And now we are officially at that point, and we're going to go and set up roots somewhere. So we're going to take our dudes and we're going to finally establish the kingdom of the dwarves. So, alright, so first things first, we got to decide where we're going to base at. Now, my original base was right around, I want to say it was right around here. And I remember specifically because there's that one metal bridge that crosses this little chasm here where it goes up, and then there was a mountain here. I ended up making like a mountain city right up here, and I thought it worked out because of the dwarves, but I do apologize if you guys hear any noise up there. My house is creaky, So we took out the Dust King last time we were here, so we wouldn't have to worry about them. We would have to worry about the breadweaves, and I don't necessarily think that we have the numbers to take the breadweaves right now. So they are going to try and attack us, so I would want to get a nice base area where I can post my golems out front and kind of have them act as a defense in the interim. So while we're figuring out exactly where we're going to build, I am going to check my guys, see if we have any health that we need to address. We have enough money to get all of our supplies and stuff ready, so we can get a couple of iron plates, some building materials, and hopefully some books as well, so we can go into this, right and correct. No, this is in fact modded Kenshi. It is a mod overhaul of my own design. Well, not my own design, but like a mod collection of my own creation. It is available. It should be in the description. I'm pretty sure I set that to be the default now. So if you're interested, feel free to take a peek. But it is modded. A lot of quality of life stuff, nothing game breaking or anything like that. All just mostly quality of life and things to make the game more vanilla plus, I try not to do anything that's too immersion breaking, or anything along those lines. Just stuff to add some extra flair, some extra flair. All right, so once these guys are healed up, we're gonna head over. I'm just waiting for 6 a.m. to hit so we can go into one of the machine shops and start gathering up, or mechanic shops, so we can start gathering up supplies to make this move official. While we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to check the description because I set it to automatically be in the description now. I just want to make sure that worked, and it did not, which is annoying, but that's fine. Go ahead and check out any of the previous live streams on the channel, and in the description it should have a link to the mod pack, as well as I want to say it has a link to the mod pack as well as instructions for graphical setup and whatnot, just because people tend to ask what my graphical settings are and how my Kenshi looks the way that it does, so it should all be there. I might end up allying with the Hybers. I'm not quite sure. I may end up establishing diplomatic relations with the United Cities. I was going to establish relations with the Holy Nation, but those of you who were here last time would know that the Holy Nation freaked out because good old Gurglar here has a mechanical arm now, and I wasn't thinking about it, and it was almost really bad. So Holy Nation is off the table. I might end up temporarily allying with the United Cities, but to be honest, I'm kind of on the fence about that because I hate them. I know that I'm going to attack the Shek Kingdom, and we are going to be enemies with the Shek Kingdom pretty early on. But my primary focus right now is setting up shop. So we're gonna put this stuff on Kenshi. Let him be the one to carry all of our burdens. We are sworn to. He's sworn to carry my burdens. so we're gonna gather up some building materials. We'll say, yeah, we're gonna have to use a couple of them because they don't have stuff that stacks. Steel plates, get a couple of those, and books. We're gonna need a lot of books. Many books. I'm hesitant to ally with the Holy Nation just out of principle. I'm trying to do this in such a way that I feel would make like cohesive sense for the group. Because remember, I'm doing a no reload build, right? So if something happens or a dwarf dies or anything like that, that's that. I actually specifically installed a gravesite mod for in the instance that like one of our like dwarven leaders die. So, you know, in the event that one of our dwarven leaders die, A1 QWERTY, good to see you, my friend. I'm always happy to have you here. Glad to have you back. In the event one of our major dwarves die, we'll actually set up a gravesite for him and everything as well. But this is a no reload run. I'm hesitant to side with the Holy Nation anymore because they did attack us last time. You know, I would have potentially allied with them just because, you know, they would have made good allies for the dwarves. Kind of like the men of Dale in the Kingdom of Erebor early on, but nowadays, you know, after the events of last stream, I don't know if I want to be on their side anymore, if I want to work with them. We're going to get rid of that. That is the salvage one. Oh yeah, we got our first Maitao last session as well. Completely forgot about that. Took down the Dust King. We got Cat, who was our first official Scorchlander dwarf. But, alright, so let's find a place to set up shop. We should be good for now. Oh, actually, one last thing. I want to get some medical supplies. I want to make sure everyone has good medical supplies on them. We should be relatively good on that. Okay, I just want to make sure we have some. And we have skeleton repair kits. I'm going to grab one more just in case. The tech hunters, it is possible to become allies with the tech hunters. It just takes a little bit of finessing because you have to, you know, find them, heal them, protect them, the whole nine. Like you got to do it kind of similar to the way that you work with the wildlife. But you know, you can become allies with the tech hunters. It just takes a bit of finessing and a bit of work. All right, so where are we going to set up shop at? So the ruined watchtower here is where. Oh, that's an old Holy Nation base. This is what I'm talking about. So this was the Dust King's Tower. And it should be controlled by Triangle Bandits now. So I actually think we're going to head up back over here again and try to take on the Triangle Bandits. Then we'll heal up and we'll try to find a base in the mountains. Oop, early, look at that. All right, we're already under attack. Already under attack. Take these guys out quick. Short with these guys. We've come a long way since episode 1. Episode 1, this would have been one hefty of a fight. Now it's just easy pickings. I wouldn't say easy pickings. We still take a bit of a hit, but not anywhere near what it used to be. You know, it's 1 or 2 hits here and there. So we've made considerable progress in 4 episodes. Not bad at all. All right, see if we can head up here. If the Triangle Bandits have already moved in, which they should have, this will be a good opportunity for us to acquire a second Maitao, because it'll be the first triangle. Because there's, with the weapon dissemination mod, it creates 3 Triangle Bandit leaders that will take over specific fortresses. And after you take out the initial leaders, so the Dust Bandit one, you take them out, and the first triangle will move in with his group. And he has a Maitao weapon as well. There's second triangle and third triangle. They all have different Maitao weapons. The bandit groups of Kenshi, it depends. I know some stuff about some of the bandit groups, but a lot of them don't have a lot of information on them, because a lot of them are formed, you know, out of the same kind of necessity. Like, one could probably argue that the Dust Bandits were formed just because they were sick of living in poverty and they became essentially highwaymen. And we know that the Dust Bandits are an incredibly loyal faction, and that the Dust King was a very charismatic leader, but we don't know a ton beyond that. You know, it also comes down to what you really define as bandit groups. Like, for instance, would you consider the Skin Bandits to be a type of bandit group? I can tell you an awful lot about them. The tech hunters, I don't think so. It's been a while since I've never really gone to war with the tech hunters because I've never had a reason to. I can look it up though, I'm pretty sure. The tech hunters aren't an enemy that I've ever really tried to go after too much. I don't know what their world state changes are. Let's find out. I don't think I see any major world states that are affected by the tech hunters. They may just not be someone we can get rid of. Again, I've never even really tried to get rid of them. Oops, sorry. Oof. Who are these guys? Dust bandits? Yeah. Okay, alright. We might have a little bit of a fight on our hands. They're probably pretty ticked off because we did take out the Dust King last episode, so we'll see if they respond. Thank you, thank you. One of my earlier videos, actually, I was really proud of that one when it came out. I'm still really proud of it. Of all of my videos, that's one of the ones that I'd say I'm the most proud of. Specifically in the terms of my lining up of the cinematography with the music. Like, there's that end shot where I'm in the United Cities and it's panning back. And every time, like, you hear, like, the chime, it just, the whole ending shot for that video was awesome. I really love doing that one. Very proud of how that one turned out. Ben, greetings. Glad to have you here. Welcome to Mad Lads Live, my friend. I hope you enjoy. Yeah, no, I mean, we're not doing terrible. We're not doing great. Could be worse though. We're getting there. We're getting there. Reactive world helps though. If you're using the reactive world mod, genocide runs become far more culpable. You know. Let's go over here and heal them. I appreciate the compliment. I do. I appreciate it significantly. I try really hard to make my content functionally aesthetic and enjoyable. You know, I put a lot of emphasis on the aesthetics of it. I noticed there was a gap on really cinematic Kenshi content years ago when I first started doing this, which is why one of the many reasons that I started doing it was I noticed that a lot of content talking about Kenshi lore tended to be the same, and not that it's a dig on this type of lore, of course, but it all tended to be the same kind of thing, which was essentially like low graphical settings, gameplay footage with no like no audio editing, no video editing. It wasn't really cinematic. It was like, you know, watch me play the game while I talk about the lore, which is kind of what I do here. But the settings were poor. There was no camera angles, and it was usually recorded on like a laptop mic, which again is fine. Like if that's what your budget is or what you're able to do, that's fine. You know, I started out with shitey equipment too, and it's evolved over time. But I saw there was a gap, and I wanted to fill it, which was, you know, kind of how most channels start, I guess. Ah, God, it's always frustrating. So the issue, in short, there's been some solar storms going on the last couple of days, and it's causing some really stupid issues with my internet. And as a result of it, I've been having this stupid popping thing happen with my mic. And it's been incredibly frustrating. So I'm so sorry about that. It's a bandwidth issue, and hopefully I can stop it from happening too often. I do apologize. You know, it's funny, whenever somebody says that, I don't know if it's supposed to be a compliment or not, because like on one hand I'm like, well, that's kind of what I'm going for, but on the other hand I'm like, do I come off like I think too highly of myself? That's not the intention, you know. I just try, you know. I don't we'll head over to this way station, get a little bit of rest, and then we'll go from there. Oh, someone pick up Cat. He's moving slow as dirt. Oh my God. Who are they fighting? Hungry Bandits, probably? They were fighting Hungry Bandits. Now they're trying to come after me. We're going to skip that one. We've fought enough of them for now. Hopefully we can avoid them. Yeah, I mean it's just I try to be aware of what where I sit in the market, I guess. There are definitely creators who create better content than me in terms of Kenshi. Like Ambiguous Amphibian creates better gameplay content. I have no doubts about that. General Sam's Kenshi videos are way funnier than mine are. The dude's hilarious, way funnier than mine. I could try to create a narrative like that, but it would just come off as disingenuous. I find that my particular niche comes from storytelling and writing, and that's just because that's what I enjoy. I enjoy the lore about it, and I think that in that regard, I have a leg up in comparison. In the same way that I think that other larger YouTubers beat me in that stuff. Like for instance, Frankie was here, has me hands down beat on gameplay tips in terms of like stat leveling and challenge gameplay and like guides and stuff like that. He beats me hands down. There's no doubt about it, and that's just because that's his niche and he's figured it out. And lore, I feel like Kenshi lore, I have that leg up on some others just because that's my niche. And that's what you ultimately want to do when you're making a channel, is find your niche. So I don't think I know too much about Ludwig. I've heard the name a couple of times, but I don't think I've ever watched. I'm able to check it out. I've heard the name. I don't think I've ever watched though. It's funny because I don't. I watch a lot of like the larger YouTubers that have done Kenshi content, but I don't know I don't know if Ludwig does specifically Kenshi content or if he does like other games. But I watch a lot of larger YouTubers who have done Kenshi before, but they don't do exclusively Kenshi content. But I don't watch many YouTubers that do exclusively Kenshi content that often, which I don't know what that says about me. Oh no, I don't have any money because I'm poor. The Bedouins? I don't think I know what the Bedouins are, unless... Hold on. Challenge stuff. Yeah, I'll look them up sometime, because I'm not super familiar. I'm also... This is going to make me sound super old. I'm only 26, but I with my... Like, I have 2 kids, and I work, like, a lot, and so I'm really far behind on, like, what the mainstream is. I don't think I've heard of the Bedouins. I need to look up what that is while I'm waiting for him to heal. Yeah, I think that's from a mod. I know. Well, that's my point. Is like I'm only 26. I turned 27 this year, but it makes me feel old when I'm like, I'm so out on what's mainstream these days. The kids these days. Well, at least it's not just me. It's good. It's good. I'm an old man at heart. That's what it is. I have the spirit of an old man. That's why I'm bald. That's why I'm bald. I lost my hair when I started. My hair started thinning when I was 18, and then it gone by 20. I just decided to bick it and go flat bald. I tell everybody my hair was so nice when I was younger. It was so nice that I was only allowed to have it for 20 years. I wasn't allowed to have hair that nice for the rest of my life. There has to be balance. Just wait for Gurgle to heal up, and then we'll get moving from here. Plus, it's better to travel during the day. Yeah, my hair was so nice I was only allowed to have it for 20 years. Any more and it would have been unfair. Unfair. But it makes up for it by the fact that I'm aerodynamic as hell now. Alright, keep going. We are running low on food, so that's something else we're going to have to pay attention to soon once we decide where we're going to set up roots. I don't want to set up in Shem. That's been done. That's been done. Listen, Kenshi's a great way to pass the time. It takes just long enough to where you can sit here for hours and like it takes time to really get things moving, but it's not so slow rolling that like you feel like you sit here all day and you've got nothing accomplished. Ah, yes, the nomads. No, I mean the nomads do have one city, and that's the nomad. It's not even a city. It's a little outpost. It's a tiny little area that they live in Shem, and that's the only one. The rest of the time they just wander and live in the wilderness. Is there nomads in Green Beach? I don't go to Green Beach that much, just because it's so freaking far away. You'd think I would know, but I don't go to Green Beach that often just because it is so far away. In full transparency on that. There's a couple areas of the map that I don't really go to that often, like Howler's Maze. Don't spend a lot of time in there. I don't spend a lot of time in Cheater's Run. Don't really go down there that often. Noon, I don't really go to Noon that much. Big Raps, yeah. So they have a couple of little areas that they style, a couple nomad villages, but like for the most part they just wander. You know, they just have their lifestyle. They wander around, they trade. Do that kind of thing. I imagine that's how they make their money and survive. They make food just by trading. There's not a lot of lore on the nomads that we know of. I could build down here. There's a lot of Second Empire ruins down here in this region right here, just below the crater in Iraq. Lot of Second Empire ruins down there that are really solid. But I don't know if I want to make my way down there. I also want to be in an area where I will end up having to fight the Shek, because remember, the whole point of this initially is to go to war with the Shek, because they are essentially my dark spawn. Build on the Fish Isles. Now, if I can get down there, I would love to build on the Fish Islands. It's just getting down there that's going to be a problem, because we'll have to contend with beak things and everything else. All right, here's what we'll do. We will make our way... I am very conflicted here on what to do. Burning Forest in the Bone Lands, and then we can move south to the Fish Islands. That would make going to war with this Shek a bit difficult, because most of my troops would have to fight our way there, and we'll be exhausted by the time we get there. We could go truly ballsy and set up in the Fog Islands. That may be fun. You're right. Roll a die. I have a dice app on my phone. My D&D dice are upstairs, so I'll have to use the one on my phone. Hold on. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do this. If I roll a 1 through 10 on a D20, I will set up in the Fog Islands. If I roll an 11 through 20, I will work my way down and set up on the Fish Islands. So Fog Islands or Fish Islands, one or the other, all right? And I will show the die on screen just so everyone can see it. Give me just one moment to get my dice app up. My actual dice are all upstairs, otherwise I just roll a good one, because we all love the clinkety sound of a good dice hitting the table. All right, 1d20. All right, set it up so everyone can see it. We're gonna roll, and the answer was, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, hold on, I picked the wrong die. Excuse me. I picked a D100 on accident. Okay, there we go. 19. Looks like we're going to the Fish Isles. All right, we're making our way down to the Fishman. Try to get down there in one piece, although I imagine we're going to struggle. Who groups on the Fish Isles? It's the Fishman. So we're going to be fighting 360-degree Fishmen, but we're going to do what the city that was on the Fish Isles that got destroyed by the Fishmen could not do, which is we're not going to get fucking destroyed. And I believe the tech hunters are there too. So we'll work our way down there. I'm going to try and maybe skip going through Venge or like skirt around Venge. I don't know. That's kind of the fun. Is how are we going to set up down there without dying to the fish? That's part of the fun, you know? We have just enough stuff to set up the beginnings of a semi-decent base, or at least a functional base. We have the means to defend ourselves in the form of our golems, who can hopefully hold off the fishmen long enough for us to establish our base. That sounds awful. Swimming from the hook to the fish islands, that sounds terrible. Even if you had like max swim speed, I would not. I don't think I'd ever even consider trying to do that. That sounds terrible. We got a long journey ahead of us, friends. Long journey ahead of us. We're gonna be moving through Shem, and I'm gonna have it on slower speed because I don't want to risk getting ambushed by beak things. So I'm gonna have it on not slower, but like 2 times instead of 3 times for travel. Because last thing I need is to get ambushed by a bunch of beak things and not have time to react. For instance, right there, beak things. We're gonna dodge that. Skirt right around them. No siree. Has been decided we will be the coastal dwarves. The coastal dwarves from the Fish Isles. No mercs currently because I spent all of our money on supplies for setting up the base. Probably a rookie move there. We could have used mercs to, you know, hold off any potential enemies in the interim. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And what I got to do is... who are the enemies that are down here? Triangle bandits fighting nomads. So, yeah, they're gonna die. Those triangle bandits don't stand a chance. Nomads have nasty stats. I hire mercs on occasion. It really depends, you know. I try not to do it too often because it's not like my primary. Like I try not to do it because typically I do it when I don't want my men to get hurt, or if I'm just trying to like kite enemies. Like I use them as essentially a vanguard unit to take the brunt of the beating. And then we go from there. I'll let those nomads do their thing. If there is 1 or 2 beak things, I might try and take them just because we could use some meat. And I think we could take 1 or 2 beak things. They only have stats that are 25. And we have decent armor, so I think we could take them. I think we can take them. I'm going to put some of our weaker units on defense just so they can not, you know, die. And then the rest of us can go on attack. So that means you, and you go on defense. No, not yet. I was going to head over that way, and then we decided to head to the Fish Isles, and I don't have the supplies for both at the moment, so I figured I would hold off on that and head straight for the Fish Isles and set up base. The first couple episodes of the series, I really wanted to... I mean, like the first 3 episodes of this series, I spent a lot of time going back and forth, just fighting and surviving and building stats. So I really wanted this episode to be more about setting up roots and getting us, you know, situated. So I'm going to focus most of my efforts on that, especially if we're headed south, because it's going to be a longer journey, you know. So gather up some food. Yeah, it will be kind of like the Dwagar Baths with some Kuratoa. Absolutely, I'm all for it. Let's set up a campfire real fast and get some food cooked because our guys are starting to lose some steam. So we're gonna get some food cooked on that. He doesn't have much space in his bag, no. We have some bedrolls too in the event that we need to heal up, which is good. Yeah, there are some traders that go to the Fish Isles, so there is that. they won't share unless it's in a backpack. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trade with Zagan. And I'm going to take you. I'm going to put a couple of these books into Cat's inventory so that he can hold some of the meat, because we are Arby's. And we have the meats. And then everyone should be able to eat. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, eventually we'll take out the King Gurglar. I'm pretty sure his stats are way too high for me to even try and attempt to take him out right now, but we should be able to at least hold our own long enough to get a base set up. It depends. If you take out the faction leaders, if you kill the faction leaders and cause world state changes, sometimes you can have enemies stop spawning so much. The best case, best thing to do when that happens is to do an import. That's usually the best bet. Oop, triangle bandits. All right. Take these guys out. Going on 3 times speed. We should be able to do this quick. Nice. All right, they're not doing too bad. That is a big beak thing. How old is he? Just an adult? He's already weak. We could take him. Get some more meat on us. Yeah, see? He's easy peasy. Lemons squeezy. Some of that leather, too. If we can get down to Flats Lagoon, I'm absolutely gonna make grog. Make no mistake about it. The dwarves are making grog. We're gonna be pumping out some serious algies. We're gonna head up this way. Everybody needs to recompile with each other. Trying to avoid the pack of beak things that are over there. 1 or 2 at a time I can take right now, but if I do far too many, we're gonna get hammered, and it won't be pretty. Won't be good. Will not be good. So we're gonna strategically make our way down to Flats Lagoon. We'll set up there, sell off some of our wares, and then buy materials and whatnot that we need for the second leg of the journey, which is to get down to the Fishman Isles. It's gonna be crazy seeing this place completely underwater. It's gonna be crazy. I am so stoked for the map of Kenshi too. I hope it looks the way that I envisioned it. Naturally. I mean, I always hope my theories are correct, but even if they're not, it works. It's funny because if my theories are right, then I get the joy of being able to say that I worked out the lore and the history of Kenshi first, and then I came up with I didn't necessarily come up with the lore, but I worked it out. I figured it out. And if my theories are wrong, well, I will have to obviously admit that I was wrong. I get to farm even more content, fixing my theories, because some of them will be listed as outdated, and I'll have to fix them. So one way or the other, Kenshi 2 is going to be good for me. Oh my God, starving bandits are crazy. Just slapping them around. Come over here. Everybody heal up. I think we're all set on that. All right. Keep going. We're almost there. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a good kingdom. Absolutely gonna be a good kingdom. Least favorite area to pass through. That is tough. That is really tough. Let's think. I don't mind passing through Venge. A lot of people get temperamental about Venge. I'm not actually that big of a deal on it. You know what? Least favorite area? fucking little sniper zone over here by Sonaris Dark. Hate it. You'll be walking and randomly just die because they hit you with an Edgewalker Eagle's Cross. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. You just die. And you don't even know where they came from most of the time. That is concerning. Please don't catch up. Please don't catch up. Please don't catch up. Oy vey. Again with the sound. Let me know if this fixes it. Is that better? Oh, dang. Get out of the water. We got to be able to move. That was tough. We just got lasered because we got stuck in the water. That was awful. Why is Cat not healing? What's up with that? Why are we not healing Cat, guys? Come on. Ew, it's because he's way over here because he decided to cross like a dope. Why would he swim? Everybody else didn't swim. Why would he swim? That's so stupid. Cat, why are you being stupid? Alright, we're gonna hang tight in this particular spot until nightfall, and we'll leg the rest of the journey at night. There's also an iron spider over here that I want to avoid. But we'll have to make the rest of the journey at night when the lasers stop. Because one more of those and we'll be literally fried. Jesus Christ. Thank you. I much appreciate it. You know, it's funny because Kenshi's one of those games where, like, content-wise, there goes through highs and lows, really notable highs and lows. Anytime Kenshi 2 news comes out, I see a really stark increase in my content in terms of, like, viewage and all that stuff. Some of my earlier lore videos have done far better, far quicker than some of my newer ones. Like, for instance, my Hyper video, I think, bumped, like, 13 or 14,000 within, I think, 48 hours. Like, it was one of my fastest growing videos of all time. And then those are thralls. And then, like, I have other videos, like my cannibal video that just broke 7,000, and it's been like 3 months. It really depends on the state of things. Any video that I put out right after Kenshi 2 update is usually pretty well received and pretty quick. I'm gonna save it just because you never know. Not that I'm reloading on this, but just in case, like, we get a crash or something stupid like that. So, it really helps. But I hope that when Kenshi 2 comes out, I see an increase in viewership, that's for sure. Not that, it's everything to me. It's just, it would be nice to have more viewers for the sake of being able to... paint shop. We can use that to sleep, rest up. I eventually want to do this full time. I would like to be able to move to making content full time, and Kenshi's kind of my bread and butter. So, more thralls. This is quite the journey trying to get down to the. Even just getting down to the Fishman Isles is a pain. Once we're down there, on the upside though, this is good training for when we are down there because it's going to be 360-degree combat right up until. Thank you, Rusty. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I'm always down for any engagement, any assistance, any subscribes, anything like that happens. I appreciate everything. I don't ever want to ask for. I don't want to ask for anything. I'm just happy that people are enjoying my content and enjoy sitting here and watching me play Kenshi and listening to me talk and babble on about Kenshi, or just babble on in general. It's always appreciated. So. At no point do I ever feel like I'm owed anything. It's always appreciated when I get anything. So I thank each and every one of you for your continued patronage. Have my guys rest up. Alright, we'll give them a little bit of time to sleep. Lick their wounds. Cat's armor dyed. It is, but it's dyed a different color. No, this is a paint shop. It's part of the Dyer's Guild mod. You can essentially come here with your armor sets, and you can put them on the mannequin and take them back off, and it will apply a paint scheme to them. And that is how my dwarves are wearing orange mercenary plates right now, until later when I can end up building the armor that I actually want to put them in. But that's how we got that. And it just so happens that they also have beds that function as free beds. So if you see a Dyer's Guild out in the ether of the world here, you can stop in and rest up. It's good for journeys like this, you know. Speaking of the ether between uploads, I should be uploading a new theory video here this week. My plan is Tuesday or Wednesday, and then obviously anybody who is a channel member will get access to it 24 hours in advance. So I believe I have 11 of those. Kane, you're one of those fine people who will be able to see my my new video 24 hours in advance. But channel members get it 24 hours early, and then everybody else will get it the day after. So when it comes out on Tuesday, it'll be public to everyone else on Wednesday. So, but I got a new theory coming out. It was originally supposed to be a smoking gun theory, where it had a lot of evidence and stuff back behind it, but I am a dope for anybody that did not see my short the other day explaining the situation. In essence, I had a quote that I had remembered during my last live stream. Somebody asked me a question, and the quote prompted a theory, and the question prompted me to remember a quote, and the quote prompted a theory. But the problem was that the quote that I remembered was actually from a mod, and I had kind of interlocked them. So once I spent 2.5 hours digging through the game files, only to realize that quote wasn't an actual canon quote, I had to kind of redo my audio to really drive home that this is no longer a smoking gun theory. This is 100% speculative, but the theory still makes a lot of sense. It's just less likely, but it still makes a lot of sense. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Beak things, you know, it's funny because we don't know where the beak things come from. There's a good chance, or I won't even say good chance. There is a chance that they are also they are of a human origin of some kind. You know, they look like a literally human skin stretched over an avian skull. But you know, people have asked me a few times if I think beak things are going to be in Kenshi too, and the answer is absolutely. They are one of the mascots of the game. And I imagine they're going to be even more horrifying than they are now. So, yeah, beak things will be returning, and it will be not pretty. Oh, you know what? Actually, how are these nomads doing? Are all these nomads dead? Or was it just this Garu? Pay attention to this Garu. How are these nomads doing in terms of their general stats? They're not doing great, and I'm going to kind of hang out for a second because we need supplies, and I don't have anything against the nomads, but if they, you know, happen to kick the bucket nearby, and there happens to be a Garu with supplies on it, and I happen to be in need of supplies, you know, things can work out. You know, this is Kenshi. Scavenging is normal. So we'll see what happens. But nope, it looks like they survived their encounter. Most unfortunate. All right, well, we'll get moving. Off to Flats Lagoon we go. Oh my god, again with this. Fucking beak things. Ooh, ooh. Just beat up the beak things. And Nines is in terrible pain. Someone go heal him. Where the hell are you two going? No, stop. Stop picking a fight with the beak things. Yeah, you would think that they wouldn't be as tough as they are, considering. Yeah. Poor Asmongold. He just can't win. Hilarious, by the way. Hilarious. Triangle Bandit, kick his ass. Oh my god. We might have to go right back into that Dyer's Guild and heal back up again, because holy crap. On the upside, we are getting a steady supply of meat that we can use. Alright, everybody back in the Dyer's Guild. Oh my god. There's a creatures mod that adds in a variant of beak things called ogre beak things that have what is essentially wings. They can't fly, but oh boy, they're horrifying. The stuff of truly the stuff of nightmare. All right, everybody else. Cat, you're kind of useless right now. Everybody else, come here. Fight this beak thing. Kill it. Kill it dead. Make it die. Alright, is there any... This pack... I'm not going to actually steal anything from it unless there's interesting stuff. There's nothing good there. Is there any other... There was another pack, Garu over here that might have stuff on it. No, nothing. Okay. Alright, well, we're healing up again because apparently... we tried to walk 5 feet, and that was too many feet. I'll let these guys rest up again. My god. Save it while we're at it. I try to save often just in the event that we get crashed. It doesn't happen that often, but just in case. Oh, dude, especially because, like... Kenshi 3, Kenshi 3, sorry, the Elder Scrolls 3 comment made me say Kenshi 3. Kenshi 2, it takes place in the Unreal Engine, specifically Unreal 5. So, like, the modding capabilities are going to be crazy. Flying enemies are not outside the realm of possibility. I'm you know, not like in the base game, but in terms of modding. Like, oh, man, the modding scene is going to be friggin' bananas. It's going to be so cool. The modding community is always the best part. They're going to come up with some crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. How are you guys doing? Not bad. Zagan's still holding up pretty good, so we'll let them go. Yeah, one big thing with wings, it would be nothing. What if like they introduce, so like they have the great white gorilla, they have elder beak things, but like what if they introduced like a true alpha beak thing, right? Like what if they canonized the Hydra? Can you imagine if they canonized the Hydra? Canonized? I don't think that's a word. If they canonized the Hydra? Just make like an absolute epic variant of each creature, right? Like you have like a progenitor Leviathan or like a progenitor beak thing, right? Like the beak thing, the alpha beak thing, you know. Excuse me. No Hydra. Come on, Nines. You're taking your sweet frickin' time healing up here. The Elder Beak thing is pretty nasty. If you have a good couple of harpoons, you can usually drop them relatively easily, but they can definitely get nasty. All right, let's look in the immediate surroundings. I'm not seeing too many big things. I'm not seeing any big things actually, which is good. So we can start to make our move down towards Flats Lagoon. Ooh, hold on. What's this? What's this? What's this? He has nothing on. What are these Triangle Bandit? Triangle Bandits make me funny because make me laugh because they make me funny. I swear to God, I can say words today that are not like involent. Anyway, Triangle Bandits make me laugh because they're just everywhere. Like they're literally everywhere. They're like a literal plague. They are everywhere, and there's seemingly no reason that they are everywhere. Like, they shouldn't be as widespread as they are, and yet they're literally just everywhere. Every climate, they're just everywhere. They make me laugh. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily need like a again like a progenitor species, but like something that like signifies it. Like, you have the great white gorilla, and like imagine a variant similar to that, but for every creature, right? Like, there is an alpha version of, or like a king, a king gorilla. You have a king beak thing, a king pack bull, a king bone dog, or a queen beak thing, or whatever. Like some kind of ultra variant of each animal type that kind of acts as like the leader of their type, per se, or like a really old ancient version. And then honestly, that would be really cool just for the sake of introducing like a possible hunting mechanic where you can go out and capture and kill these enemies and bring them back for a trophy, or bring them back for cats. Like, you can say that you're the faction that took down the king, the king gorilla, or took down the queen beak thing. I tried the Star Wars mod, and I love it in theory because I adore Star Wars. It's one of my favorite mediums. If there's a Star Wars mod for a game, I typically will always play it. Like Blade and Sorcery, Outer Rim, one of the best mods ever made. Any Star Wars equivalent, I'm always down for. I adore Star Wars. I tried playing the Star Wars mod for Kenshi, and I only tried it once, and at the time I was having some other issues with my computer because I had just upgraded my system, and there was some changes that I had to make to my graphical setup to accommodate those changes, and so I was still tweaking it, so it may have been that, but I was having some performance issues, and I just couldn't really get into it. Maybe I'll try it again sometime, though. Yeah, bring him good old Chuck Testa hunting, okay? And Chuck Testa. For all your taxidermy services. Taming, I do hope they have officially have taming. I have the Tame Beasties mod on currently in this load order, which has always been a fun mechanic. Nothing's better than raising an army of beak things, but definitely a taming mechanic would be really cool. I don't foresee that happening. I have no reason to think that would be happening, but a taming mechanic would be cool. I'm excited to see Flats Lagoon is a port city too. That's what it started out as. This platform was built. I don't know if it was built during the Second Empire or if it was just being used during the Second Empire, but this was very likely a port, because this entire area was underwater. And so this was very likely a port city that was stationed in the middle of this area. So I'm excited to sail to this area because we know we're gonna have boats, right? Boats are a thing, or we're like 99% certain we're gonna have boats. I want to sail to Flats Lagoon. I hope that they increase the scale too to be more inclined with the more in line with the lore. I hope that they're able to increase the magnitude because lore in games is always really best example in recent memory is the Elder Scrolls, right? Look at Skyrim. They were we have this big civil war going on. Hundreds of thousands of people are dying. Thousands of people are dying everywhere. Massive cities are being sieged, and then it's every city is really the size of a small town. Every town is really just a village with 4 houses. These massive sieges are like 5 on 10. It's not, and that's just by nature of the fact that the game, they had to create the exposition, but then they were unable to make the exposition match the game because of the limitations of the games, because of their engine and stuff. And I hope that in Kenshi 2, they really try to match the scale that we are given in the lore with the scale of the games. There's limitations to what you can do, but it won't be a 1-to-1. We're not gonna have 10,000 people on the screen at once. I don't foresee that happening, but it would be cool to see cities that look like they can actually house entire factions. Reasonably anyway. They do a pretty good job of it, but Blister Hill. Blister Hill should be even bigger than it is. It's already a pretty big city. It's one of the biggest cities in the game. It's one of the most compact cities in the game, but it still could be bigger, and it could show that for the number of holy paladins they have, it should be bigger, you know. Next to the backpacks for sale. Oh, those are shells for my golems here. Sorry, took me a minute to realize what we're talking about. Yeah, these are shells for my iron sides, my golems here. So, like, for instance, if I take his shell off, he looks like that. And you can put different shells on. And the shells will change their stats. They'll give them unique features, like having a backpack that stacks or stuff like that. So, all right. So I stopped here real quick to get some food. And to sell some stuff and get some food, because we need some more food for our journey. We're gonna put the food into Zagan's backpack. How much do I have? I have 4,000. I have a couple of food packs. That should be enough to at least keep us fed until we get there. And then anybody else need to heal up, or we'll have to do it outside, which is fine. We have, no, we're good. We're good. All right, final stretch. We're headed straight down, but in order to do that, we have to cut through the bone fields. So we're in the final stretch, but it's going to be a tough one. And then we are at the Fishman Isles, and that's when the real fight begins. That is when the real fight begins. And we are looking good so far. Luckily down here, the most we have to worry about is bone dogs. There's not typically beak things in this area, but once we get to the high bone fields up in this area, this is when we're going to start to run into the beak things, to the beaky boys. Is that a Western Hive caravan? Yeah. Alright, we'll make another stop in Morn. Go there, and to be honest, I might... no. Those rocks, yeah, they are coral. This is one of the reasons that we know that this place used to be underwater. Aside from the obvious fact that, like, it clearly used to be underwater, and this was like, why would they build this platform that is Flats Lagoon unless they were building it in water? That is clearly like the same kind of platform you would see like an oil tanker on, or I mean, not an oil tanker, an oil rig, right? Like, this is clearly a platform that was built on water, but a lot of these rocks are coral. It's coral. This whole area used to be submerged underwater. That's actually, and it's even more backed up by just the fact that there are so many bones. Like, this is the kind of thing that you don't see. This kind of phenomena doesn't happen in the real world unless it's an area that used to be underwater, where you have like bones out like this and there's like sticking out. This doesn't usually happen unless the area used to be submerged underwater. That's usually a telltale sign that there used to be high amounts of water in the area. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And the battle of the beak things has begun once again. Luckily, our dear King Vashu here has the hunting saber, which does 39% more damage to animals. So he is literally, like, built for beating beak things right now. Which works out good. Continue moving towards Morn. Yeah, the man's literally made for beating beak things. Cat, he's such a loner. I feel like he always is running off separately from the group. I don't know what his deal is, you know? Everybody else travels relative. Oh, okay, back up, back up. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. No, 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 no. Oh my God. we may have to leg it back to Flats Lagoon, and some of us might die. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. It's probably over for some of them, but it's not over yet. It ain't over till it's over. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to try this. Cheese it. Everybody just run. Everybody run. Oh my god. Cat's down. Nines is down. Cat's being eaten. Oh my god. Gurgle's bleeding out. Griffin is down. Western Hive is picking him up. Absolute chads. Oh my god. Nope. 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 They're still getting me. They're still getting me. You three, stay over here. You. Oh my god. Hold. There's so many of them. Alright, we need to, if I'm going to save anybody, I need... How's Griffin doing? He's in recovery coma. Truth is bleeding out poorly. He is in critical condition. Whew. Okay, how are the golems doing? This is nasty. Okay, the golems are still alive. They are in rough shape. Zagan is in rough shape, but they are alive. Vashu is going on the defense. He's trying to heal up the others. Have him go after Gurgle first. He's in the water. Oh no. Okay. Nines is currently being eaten. What a mess. It looks like the Western Hivers that tried to help Griffin got attacked, which... no, these are just random Garus. Never mind. I was going to say, if these are the Western Hive pack Garus, well, it's shitey. That may actually be a good thing in the long run, but I was wrong. I was very wrong. Alright. Put him down. Oh my god. Zagan. How's he doing? Alright, Truth is not being eaten alive anymore. Nines is... Give it a go, give it a go, give it a go. I should be strong enough to take him. There we go. Dead. Nothing. You ain't got nothing on me. We're gonna save him. We can do this. We can do this. Gurgle's living up to his name. Yeah, I'd say so. Zagan and Kenshi just... Oh boy. My golems did all the work there. All the work. Alright, Nines is healing. Head back here and pick up Truth. I'm gonna try my best to save them, but there's only so much I can do. It's looking better now than it did a minute ago. A minute ago, this was end of run, mission over, stay fucked. Now it's looking better. Now the real question is, can I get everybody healed up in time? If I can get the golems healed, we should be okay. Because they can act as defense while I get everybody else picked up. The real question is, can we get healed up enough to make it to our destination? If we can get to the Fish Islands, or at least down by the coastline, we should be fine. It's just getting down by the coastline. That's going to be where the trouble is. Luckily, I have enough of those. How's everybody doing? Everybody's in a recovery coma. Griffin's going to be up in just a minute, and then he can start grabbing them and piling them over here. In the interim, what do I have in my inventory? What a fucking mess. What a mess. Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure it out once we get down there. Fix up Zagan next. He's our head boyo. Yeah, I mean, no, listen. Even when it's bad, it's fun. It's always fun. Even when it's bad. You know, we're having a good time. We're having a grand time. That was horrifying. I won't say it wasn't horrifying, but we're having a good time. So first things first, we're going to save Asmongold. This is unfortunate that there is a boneyard wolf here. But he's eating, so maybe we can get up without being chased. We can regale with tales of the great beak thing battle of 721 and the great dust bandit battle of what was it, like 7-9 or something like that. That almost ended in disaster. That's for sure. On the upside, I don't think we have to worry about food for a little while. You know, look at Mr. Brightside on this. We can actually, you know what? Rather than, I'm gonna actually remove this meat, because what we can do is we can grab this leather here, go back to Flats Lagoon, sell it, and get food and mercenaries that we can use to help get us to where we gotta go. That's the idea. That's the idea. No, I think Cat broke his leg. That's the worst we got. I think we actually came out of that relatively unscathed, which is fortunate. Go pick up him. Bashu should be fast enough to take care of him. Griffin, put down him. And then you go get Gurgle. Go get the Gurgster. That was a mess. Oh my lord. I truly thought for a minute that we were hosed. When I saw that giant armada of beak things rushing us, I thought we were done for. There was no way. We were done for. Well, the valuable part about beak things are their eggs. You know, so if there are beak things around, that means there are beak thing eggs around, and those are the parts that are valuable. Make a good omelet with those eggs. Just drop Cat, you know, he's fine. And then who has the sleeping bags? I'm pretty sure Zagan has them. Yeah. I have no idea. To be honest, I really think it's a food thing. I feel like it's like a delicacy, and they're like eating them. It's like what is it? The Deathclaw egg in Fallout 4. How you like go get the Deathclaw egg because they want to eat it, something like that. Thank you, Sly. I appreciate the compliment. I try to put out, I aim for 1 to 5 shorts a day. I try to answer, a handful of questions a day just to keep the algorithm fed and everything. So also it's just an easy way for me to talk about some of the like smaller doses of lore or things that maybe I've covered in long form videos before that maybe people haven't talked about. So I appreciate it. And yes, I live stream usually once or twice a week. Right now, I pretty much only live stream, Rise of the Dwarves. I do build videos on occasion, but I also do those in long form. So welcome to Mad Lads Live, my friend. I hope you enjoy. You just I don't know when you got here, but I just got absolutely massacred by beak things. The thing with exotic pets is I feel like obviously like a lot of people who have exotic pets don't raise them to be trained. Like they raise them to be like, look what I have, and they're like a vicious, angry beast. But I feel like having a beak thing is, I feel like you couldn't even have it as a pet. Like it's literally just a murder giraffe. It's literally just a murder giraffe. While we're waiting for him to heal. Alright, so we're gonna drop those camp beds. It's kind of risky because we are out in the open, but like, what are you gonna do, What are you gonna do? Yeah, like you can have a polar bear as a pet, and like I'm sure someone somewhere has an illegal polar bear as a pet, but like, is that really a smart thing to do? Probably not. Once we get set up and established, and we have roots going, and everyone's we have like a base and all that stuff, we're gonna have to start titling these guys out, give them some titles. Obviously, Vashu's our king. He's gonna be the king of the dwarves. But oh man, what a friggin' mess! There was so many beak things. I was not prepared for that in the slightest. We did not handle our own very well. The only reason we survived was because of these three, and they almost didn't. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Bee things are really smart. They're not stupid animals, right? Like, they're murder giraffes, but like the way they behave is they are a very intelligent breed. It's horrifying. They're not. I don't think anybody would want to own a bee thing. Friggin' horrible. It's like a human skull stretched over. I mean, human skin stretched over an avian skull. It's stuff of a nightmare. After the battle, everyone got their ass kicked except Vashu, who managed to strategically position himself in such a way to gather up the rest of the unconscious bodies. And Zagan, Kenshi, and the Golem here did most of the work. And I won't say we lived happily ever after. We definitely got messed up, and Cat had almost got eaten alive. But we survived. We survived. We lived to fight another day. I don't know how many more days, but another day, at the very least. And now we're just healing these guys up enough to get back to Flats Lagoon to fully heal up and get some food. Yeah, no, the beak things aren't the real concern at the Fish Islands. Gurgle's in a recovery coma still. He should be able to get up here in just a second. No casualties. We lucked out. We came really close. But luckily, we managed to avoid it. Cat, we're actually gonna pick Cat up and get the hell out of here. No, Pick up cat. Thank you. Stop putting him down. Ah, I have rescue mode on. There we go. Whew. Alright, so we're going to make our way back to Flats Lagoon, sell off some of our stuff, and maybe hire a couple of mercenaries to come with us. And we're not going to go through the water because that's stupid and it's going to take forever. And no one wants to watch my guys swim for 3 hours. I don't want to watch them swim for 3 hours. I don't imagine you guys do either. I don't know, man. I feel like beak things are like the thing is I feel like beak things half the time they don't even want to kill you for the sake of food. They just want it. They just want you dead. They really are just murder giraffes. Like sometimes they eat you, but other times they just kill you and leave you there. They don't want you to as food per se. They just want you to not be alive. Your existence is an inconvenience to them, and they don't want it. They don't want it. They're not for it. As long as you're breathing, they're not happy. All right, we're going to go back to Flats Lagoon. We're going to hire up some mercenaries. With the money that we're going to get from all of the leather that we got from the Great Beak Thing massacre of, approximately 10 minutes ago. I was so certain this was about to be done 4 episodes in. The Dwarven Kingdom died just before it started. I mean, I was so certain that that was the end. I was convinced. I mean, in terms of actual predators, beak things are probably right up there for sure. Where are they headed? What are they fighting? Are they going after these dogs? Yeah, I think they are. Okay, all right. Yeah, they're just the entirety of Flats Lagoon just evac to go fight some wolves, I guess. I suppose. Yeah, I imagine the beak things are probably like in the top 3 predators on Kenshi, in terms of wildlife. That is, you know. And the Leviathans probably. I mean, the Leviathans supersede them because just the sheer size and amount of damage they can take. Like, there's not really anything that is better than a Leviathan. But in terms of just like actually being a predator, because Leviathans don't really go out of their way to hunt people down, unlike beak things, you know. So they don't really. They're not really predators. They're just the most dangerous thing on Kenshi, which is ironic that those two sentences, they're not like mutually exclusive. But yeah, I would say that the beak things are probably the most dangerous predator on Kenshi. Yeah, I would agree with that. Sell all this leather, all this beak thing leather. Sweet, glorious beak thing leather. Yeah. Yeah. Possibly switch out my armor. Not too certain on this. $9,000. It's obviously too much. Don't want to spend that much. He's got mercenary plate. What's his coverage right now? Left arm, 70. 70 in the stomach, 90 in the arms, 100 in the chest. This will protect against acid and gas, which could be useful. It does have more full body coverage. Interesting. They're lower quality one. I don't need a high quality one, but something of higher quality would be nice. Like a standard quality would be fine. I don't need a high quality one, but I don't think they have any, which is unfortunate. I do like this armored long coat though. It's not something that I think I would use for all of my troops, but it is something that I may use in the interim, because a little bit more protection out here would be good. That is for sure. There's also the black leather armor, but I don't think I want to wear that. Hatchwork, no. Alright, well, we'll hold off on armor for right now. We need some mercenaries and some beds. These ninja guards are in the bed. They're another... There, yeah, okay. Alright, we're going to send you up here. You up here. You. And you. Everybody go get some sleep. We'll let them rest for a little while before we hire the mercenaries. That way, we're not just wasting time. But we'll get a couple bodyguards to come with us. I mean, so here's the thing. We know... I say we know, but like there's a really good reason. I'm going to change some of those names right now. Actually, you bring up a very good point. I'm actually right about to do that. We have on pretty good authority that the Hivers were created in a lab to deal with the problems of the end of the Second Empire. The Shek were created, in a lab through similar means to deal with the problems of the Second Empire, and there's also reason to believe that prior to the Shek's creation, the Bone Dogs and the Pack Bulls may have been prototypes experimenting with that particular line of gene therapy. That's why they have that similar bone plating on the outside. The Skin Spiders, same thing, but to a more rushed degree, because Catelyn was insane and cared less about safety procedures and stuff like that. Animal testing. He didn't probably care about how radical the gene therapy was in comparison to when he did it with the Shek. The Shek were a lot more of a nuanced transition in comparison, because it was a lot more of a subtle gene change, whereas the Hivers were like full-blown, let's alter their DNA to a disturbing degree, and the Skin Spiders may have been the result of that. So we don't know what the possibility, how the beak thing may have come about. I will say that they do have some oddly human-looking features, and while it isn't cut content, it was technically a glitch. We did know, like a coding error early on. We do know that the beak things used to talk, right? And I don't know if they want to make that part of the official canon, but the beak things have an oddly human-looking face with like a skull popping out of it. I just, like, we don't know what... we don't know what the thought process was behind creating these things. So the idea that the big things were made in a lab, who knows? I mean, who knows? Hubris manifest, as for the Bugmaster, actually, my recent video that I put out, the most recent long-form video I put out, where I talked about how pretty much all or a good portion of life on Kenshi has some kind of origin rooted in humanity. I talk about the possible causes for why the Bugmaster could have, if he was the geneticist that was dealing with these experimentations, the possible causes that he could have done this. And the Finn, you say that the Hivers are the native species of the planet. I will not ever disregard or say that theory is incorrect, because we don't know. I will say there is far more evidence to suggest that they were created than that they're native, and I go through all of those in my most recent long form video. I can go ahead and reiterate some of it here. It won't be as clean as in my long form video, because I tend to trip over my words a little bit, but there is more and more evidence the more you think about it that is compiling based on the history of what we know about Kenshi and the overall themes of Kenshi that suggest that they are far more likely to be created in a similar method to the Shek, especially given the time frame they appeared and how their biology is perfectly suited to deal with all of the issues the Second Empire was dealing with right at the time that they would have been created. And we know that they created the shack based on a combination of Holy Nation scriptures and everything else. We know that the Holy Nation views the Hybers as corrupted humans as well, based on their scripture. Again, their biology is perfectly in tune to deal with all of the problems that Catlan was facing at the time of the end of the Second Empire. And all of it lines up too perfectly. And actually, in the short that I'm about, not in the short, in the video that I'll be releasing later this week, I also talk even more about the creation, about the possibility that the Hybers were created, and how specifically the pheromone link could have come into play, and where that pheromone link originates from, and where the skeletons, specifically Catlan, may have come up with the idea for that pheromone link. And it could be rooted in the potential that the skeletons used to be, during the First Empire, all part of a connected hive mind or a mainframe, essentially. And, I'll get more into that in the video that comes out later this week. But essentially the idea is that the skeletons may have very well been once connected during the First Empire to a cloud server or a mainframe. And that may have been one of the ways that kept them under control. And when that mainframe went away, that may have been one of the causes for the mass skeleton suicide, because we've always been a little apprehensive about what caused that. Like, did they just suddenly, they felt guilty after Stobe died, and we know they felt guilty about what happened because they made the Second Empire to try and fix the problems that they had caused. But why did so many of them seemingly just go out and commit Sudoku? Like, there's no real reason for it that we can think of beyond guilt. Well, the possibility that I came up with when coming up with this video that I'm going to be releasing later this week is that the suicide may have been the result of being disconnected from that hive mind, and the weight of consciousness, similar to the weight of consciousness that the Hivers feel, was too much. The weight of independence and independent thought was too much. And as they had to face their own individuality and become independent people, many of them chose to take their own lives instead. And the pheromone link could be essentially Catlan's attempts to recreate the mainframe or the hive mind that used to be connected to all skeletons, because he wasn't creating something new. Catlan didn't make anything new, right? We know for a fact he made almost nothing new. Everything he did was salvaged and scrapped and created from the ruins of the First Empire. Catlan had no original ideas. He repurposed everything that was already there. And so when you think about it, if he created the Hybers, this pheromone link, that's an ingenious idea, to create a pheromone link to, keep everybody in line. But if he didn't create anything really original, everything was repurposed and resalvaged and recreated, then the pheromone link being an original idea seems way too good for Catlan's line of thinking. And the reality, is more likely, is that he repurposed the very mainframe and hive mind that he used to be a part of, and turned that into he used that in his experimentation when he created the Hybers. I mean, there's so much that lines up to it that I truly don't think that the Hybers are native. And again, every other race has based in humanity. The humans are obviously humans. The skeletons were made by humans. The Shek were created by skeletons and used to be humans, and the skeletons were made by humans. And then the Hybers be native. I feel like it doesn't line up with the theme. The Hybers used to be human, and they were altered by the skeletons, and the skeletons were made by humans. As for drying up, the world it's not drying up per se. The water levels that you see currently on Kenshi, on the map the way that it is now, are very likely similar to what they were during the I apologize for the pause in gameplay. I'm on a lore tangent now, so bear with me. The water levels that you see on Kenshi now are likely very similar to what they were during the First Empire, right? And the reason why we know that is that if you, in my Origins of the Cannibal videos, I showed on screen, I'd pull it up now, but it would require a lot of me finding it. I have it somewhere. I recreated what the water levels may have been like based on the things that we know, right? So like the swamp was totally filled, and I used signs of natural erosion based on like signs where there was clearly water erosion, right? The natural topography that shows signs of water erosion, fertile areas, upstream, stuff like that. The areas that we know were flooded. And when you do that, what you find is that the areas that were flooded all contain First Empire ruins. But none of the areas that are flooded contain Second Empire ruins. In fact, the Second Empire ruins almost always sit on the coastline of the flooded areas. And so what that says is that the water levels on Kenshi during the First Empire were similar to what they are now. After the First Empire, the water levels rose tremendously, and that is very easily explainable if you subscribe to the idea that the Age of Chaos, which is the area immediately following the fall of the First Empire, was a nuclear winter. So the global temperatures on Kenshi plummeted. Glaciers started to form. It got very cold. Water levels, there was no change in the water levels then, but as the temperature started to return to normal after that Age of Chaos, after that nuclear winter that engulfed the moon, as the water levels, as the temperature started to return to normal after like the moon had healed itself, the ice that had formed during that time started to melt. And when it melted, it caused a rising of the water levels. So by the time of the Second Empire, the water levels were significantly higher. And then over the course of the Second Empire and the following 1,000 years between the fall of the Second Empire and now, the temperatures continuing to return back to normal caused the water to re-evaporate and return to their original levels. So the Kenshi's not really drying up. It's going back to the way that it was. If that makes sense. Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent there. I need mercenaries. That's what I was doing. Western Hive. Are there no mercenaries around here? Come on, give me just like one. And that's the thing. Like, I try to make all of my theories make sense, not just in terms of what we know about Kenshi, but also just scientifically. Like, I don't believe that they just made up a lot of the stuff. Like, that's not good writing. Because Kenshi's really based in science, right? Like, we see it as this really big foreign alien world, but the reality is that it's very much based in sci-fi, and so everything makes sense to a degree, right? And so, like, a lot of the stuff on Kenshi can be explained via science, So the theory not only has to make sense in terms of explaining, every theory I come up with not only has to make sense in terms of explaining the nuances that we know about Kenshi based on the game, but it also has to make sense from a scientific perspective, right? That's why in my cannibals video I talk about like the prion disease. I talk about prion intervention, like prion disease, and I talk about the effects of heavy metal on tainted crops, and how those things kind of interact with each other, and how that religious fervor, like why the shrieking bandits, while being degenerated from the same source as the cannibals from obviously the cannibal kingdom, or the cannibal empire, or whatever you want to call them. I don't really know what their technical form of government would be. They're a tribe, but the cannibal chiefs, the cannibal tribes, why, even though they were both generated from the same source, the cannibals went one way and the shrieking bandits went another, because one, not only did they both had tainted crops, but the cannibals also had prion disease on top of it, and probably inbreeding. It's got to make sense scientifically, and it's also got to make sense in the confines of the games, and that's where I try to make all of my theories do. It does sound like a lot of work, but it makes for good writing. And that's an important thing, when you're making a story. Like, even for instance, look at a lot of cult classic shows, like shows that should be theoretically really stupid and not be as entertaining and as good as they are, and yet they are so good. Look at shows like Futurama, right? Even if you're not a Futurama fan, I don't know if you guys know this, but the science behind Futurama, more often than not, checks out very well, because on site, working on the show directly, they had several astrophysicists. They had several people, working on the show that were all like scientists. Ah, yes, I see. Never mind. I've gone full yumpy. I did not realize that you were talking about the warships. I thought you were talking about making everything scientifically accurate. My bad. What we got? Oh, land bats. Land bats are a confusing one to me. I don't even begin to know what a land bat could be. They look like a hog mixed with a bat. They're very confusing. It looks like someone tried to mix a gorilla with a bat. I wonder if they're related. I wonder if, I mean, I feel like they have to be related. Like, they're species-wise, they look way too similar to not be related. Am I not? Where's my bodyguards? I hired bodyguards. Where are they at? You guys saw that, right? Like, I paid $4,000 for bodyguards. Where the hell are they at? One tech hunter there? I didn't just pay for one tech hunter. Don't you lie to me. Where are they at? I will fight somebody if I just paid 4,000 cats for a single tech hunter. Was there 2 of them? Horseshit. I appreciate that. I feel bad a lot of times when I talk about this stuff like in my real life because a lot of people are like, it's just a game, man. Why are you putting that much thought into it? But like this is the stuff that I did just get scammed. This is the stuff that makes me happy though. Lore makes me happy. I love world building and creative writing and the processes behind it. Lore is a big thing for me, and it's what makes me happy, and I like being able to share it. There they are. Okay, we got some more. I like being able to share it, and I like sharing it with people that like hearing it. So. At the moment, no. I don't want to change any because I don't know who has earned a title yet. I'm sure Griffin will end up becoming a noble. He'll become Lord Griffin or Sir Griffin. I'm not quite sure yet. But the only one that I know for certain is that obviously Vashu is our king, and we'll go from there. Truth has been with him the longest, but her stats are still kind of shitey. I don't really know how that's going to go. But I know that Griffin is definitely going to be promoted to the status of nobility. That's the only one I've got for certain, but I'm going to hold off until we set up roots. Good plan, actually. Zooming out so I don't get ambushed by another pack of fucking beak things. We'll try this again. Wait for Zagan to catch up. I can't believe there were so many of them. Yeah, I don't know. He's doing his own thing. I'm surprised because usually it's Cat who breaks away from the group like that, but this time it's Zagan. He's the one that's deciding to go rogue on us. Alright, we are officially in the Bone Fields. I'm going to head towards Morn. That's going to be our next stop in our journey. I like how this episode was supposed to be the journey of me going and setting up roots and building the base, getting the base started, and instead it's actually just the incredibly long journey to get to the place that we're going to set up. Ah, yes. More mistakes have been made. Hold on. I have an idea for this. Alright, luckily the tech hunters are here. That should be able to get there. We will get there, I swear. Probably, but these bone dogs shouldn't be too bad. We're going to take some licks, but we can deal with bone dogs. A pack of beak things, that's a bigger problem. Bone dogs are no big deal. That's true. That's true. But in fairness, I didn't decide to go here. The dice decided. I let the dice decide. I didn't do it. I let the dice decide. They did it. Alright, we'll stop off in Morn. And then Morn should be our last stop until we actually get there. And we'll be on the last... no, we'll have one more stop in... I want to say Catan. We'll have one stop in Catan. And then we'll be there. You know, there's a good possibility I may actually send my golems in to deal with the Great White. I don't think I'm gonna fight them, like have my guys fight them, but I might send my golems in and have them do it. I'm gonna have my guys rest up for a while, actually. Get the much rest they deserve, they need. And because you know, traveling is hard, and getting beat up all the time is even harder. And then we'll have these 3 dingbats come up here and give Great White a go. I think that my robots can do it. My golems. Oh, I don't even know yet. I haven't gotten that far yet. This is ridiculous. Hold on. Just take a look at that. We're gonna pick that. That was something else. Plus, we need to get their lockpick skills up a bit anyway. Okay, you, and you head back down here. You, and you. Oh, Vashu's got to come up here and heal them first. Yeah, we're going to have to think of a grand name for it. If I don't end up getting the settlement fully... So here's what will probably end up happening. I will put the settlement down today, and then I'll probably post a poll on the community page and let the community come up with a... Well, not necessarily a poll. I'll post an update on the community page and let the community decide what we should name the capital of the Dwarven city. Because here's the thing. I plan on eventually putting down multiple cities, not just one. I'm going to put down multiple cities and have like a Dwarven empire, or a Dwarven kingdom that spreads across multiple areas. But I'll probably let the community decide. I think that could be fun. So we're going to send the robots in, and we're going to see what happens. What's his stats at? 106. This is going to be a tough one. I don't think they are ready for this, to be honest with you. I truly don't. What I am going to do, actually, better idea. Well, maybe a better idea. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to attempt to get his attention, have him run away, and then draw him down and let the village fight him. Come on, boy. Come in. No? Fish sticks. Do I look like Kanye to you? Do I look like Kanye to you? Those are empty. I don't think I was thinking about taking him. I don't think I could take him. 106. There's no way. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna be able to take him right now. We're gonna have to put a pin in that. We will come back to it. There's no way. Not right now. I know. I knew that. A boy can dream. Weirder things have happened, okay? Weirder things have happened. While we're here, actually, we do have a little bit of money left. Let's go in this bar and see if we can recruit anybody. Get a couple more dwarves on our side. Nope, just a shack. We ain't about those dirty shack peoples. No, sir. Not here. Probably hot as hell, to be honest with you. It's probably really hot. It's probably really hot. Plants. What are we gonna grow? We can grow apples. Grow some seedlings, some apple seedlings. I don't actually know how any of that that particular system works. I have like a gardening mod on that will add some like new opportunities for plants and whatnot, but you know, I've never actually used it. So yeah, no, Kenshi's probably unbearably hot. It's probably disgusting all the time. The whole place it's probably just disgustingly hot all the time. How's the combat situation out here? Oof. Not great. Not great. Western Hive getting beaked. Alright, let's head to Catan. Oh, shit. Wow, I am all over the map right now. Alright, we're going to head over to Catan. You guys get to see the great... what is it? The great rib cage of the kaiju. Because this, as I said, the bone fields were all underwater. You know? You guys are going to get to see the great rib cage of the kaiju. Largest rib cage is, as far as I'm aware, is the largest rib cage in the game that you can find. Let these guys aggro the beak things. Have them act as cannon fodder. You know me, I like my meat shields within bullet blocking distance. Well, so it's really interesting because Kenshi technology is... I made a short on this a couple of days ago because people are like, you know, why is Kenshi technology so inconsistent? Like, they have advanced some stuff and then really shitey other stuff. And, like, I often think that Kenshi is very similar in terms of Fallout when you think about their technology, right? So, in Fallout... They, I hope we have boats this size in Kenshi too, by the way, and I hope that they are mobile and you can board boats. That's my biggest thing. I want a boarding mechanic. I want to be able to jump from my boat onto somebody else's boat, and I want to steal their stuff. That's what I want more than anything else. But sorry, James, good to see you, my friend. Original Mad Lad right there. James Pruitt, the original member of the Mad Lads Guild. Happy to see you, guy. I'm glad that you're doing well. Hope work was good. I'm glad you were able to make it. I imagine that the technology is very similar to Fallout in the sense that it used to be very similar to ours. Now, Chris, they have stated that, like, our universe is completely separate. They are not connected, so, like, their evolutionary path may have been completely different. But in Fallout, their evolutionary path diverted after World War II. In Fallout, they entered the nuclear age, where they learned to harness and control nuclear power. And in some ways, their technology was way more advanced, where they had, like, nuclear-powered robots, like, you know, Codsworth and, like the Mr. Handy units and the Mr. Gutsy and all that stuff. And so in that way, it was more advanced. But then alternatively, they also had far less advanced technology in other areas because their technological abilities evolved down a different tree. And so they learned different things. And so the First Empire, based on everything we know about them, was very like, there it is, largest ribcage in Kenshi. There it is. The First Empire, based on everything we know and can assume about them, is that they were not very militaristic in their... Oh boy, those are skin spiders. Let's not do those. Skin spiders are probably... Individually, they stand no chance in terms of beak things of predatory, but like skin spiders are probably up there in the top 3 in terms of worst predators in Kenshi. Oh shit, we are cliffside cornered. We have to circle back. So the technology must have diverted, and we know, or we can assume reasonably, that the First Empire was not very militaristic and tended to have more of an emphasis on the sciences, right? They focused on the sciences. And that's why you don't see very many weapons, like laser-based weapons or anything like that, because contrary to popular belief, the eye satellites were probably not weapons. They were, yeah, this is literally a giant ribcage. This is the biggest piece of evidence I have for the kaiju. The kaiju that I constantly bring up in my shorts. Like, look at this thing. There's no way in hell that they created the behemoths to deal with anything other than these. Because why would you need behemoths unless you were dealing with this? You know? Anyway. It's more likely that they were based in the sciences. That's why... No, don't pull aggro. Come on. No. Back up. Go away. Please flee. It's more likely that they were focused on the sciences, you know? They had the technology capable of being weapons, like the eye satellites, but those were used for terraforming. They were not like a glass cannon. They were used to terraform regions to get rid of the more inhospitable portions of it and probably make the land more fertile because... burning land can make it more fertile. If you overburn it, then you turn it into what it is now. But, you know, that's the thing. But you know, when the kaiju thing were a problem, like they already had the technology to build skeletons because that was their workforce. So rather than building like a super weapon, like a nuke or something, which we know they had nuclear technology too, and I can get into that if anyone wants to hear it. It's rather than building like a nuke or something, they chose to build a giant version of the skeletons that they already had. Like, they were clearly not militaristic. They were more engaged in the sciences. They were all about technological expansion rather than military advancement. And so their technological tree like diverted in different ways, and that's why they're able to build things like skeletons and AI sentient robots, but they lacked advanced weaponry. And then when you think about the idea that the networks fell, the First Empire fell, the skeletons, you know, tried to rebuild it, but they went through a nuclear winter, then built another empire that also fell. The technology that did still manage to survive through the fall of the First Empire in the Age of Chaos was repurposed and reused and then destroyed again when the Second Empire fell. Like, a lot of the technology is just gone, and the tech that did survive was very specific tech, you know, and it's being repurposed arguably for a second time. There's just a lot to a lot to suggest that, you know, the technological advancement was different. That's why, like, in some ways Kenshi is far more advanced, and in other ways they are significantly behind us in their advancement. You know, it kind of depends on the way you look at it. But their technological tree probably just went down a different path. All right, we are officially in Catan. I'm gonna head into the bar over here. And we're going to use this opportunity to find another recruit. If they have one, maybe. Ridley? Ridley's got semi-okay stats. Probably wants 6,500 if I had to guess. Oh, no. Free of charge. Look at that. All right. Talk to the plastic surgeon. Let's make you short. Oh, no, frame is big. We're going to leave you at 115. We're going to drop your height down to a stark 83. Thick. Built thick. It's girth. Is it possible the humans put the giant fighting robots underground in the sand to preserve them and destroy them? The problem is I would say yes, but they didn't put them in sand. They buried them in molten metal. The ground in Obedience isn't sand; it's metal. It's solidified metal. And their hands poking out suggest that they were trying to get out, like they were coming out. And the other thing is, you know, I did put out a theory about the potential that there was a misunderstanding that caused the skeleton uprising, but it wasn't that they weren't trying to kill the behemoths. It was that the behemoths made the active choice to go into Obedience and the skeletons didn't realize it. But that's just a theory. It is more likely that they marched them in there. The behemoths were undyingly loyal to their First Empire creators, and then the First Empire melted them down. And the thing is the First Empire is as shitey as it sounds, because it's like, they melted down the skeletons, they were their servants. But like, from the First Empire's perspective, it makes a lot of sense. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I probably would have done the same thing. These giant robots would have been created for the sole purpose of fighting these kaiju. And when the kaiju are gone, what is now the biggest threat to my technologically advanced super civilization? It was the behemoths that I used to destroy the kaiju, you know? So melting them down makes sense, especially if, again, these are not a civilization that is based around weapons of war. They're not militaristic. They created the behemoths for the sole purpose of getting rid of the kaiju, and now they don't need war weapons anymore. They don't need them anymore, so they got rid of them. And the behemoths, whether they did so willingly or unknowingly, they went up there, they were melted down, and the skeletons took this as a huge act of betrayal. Now, on the side of this, you know, on the flip side, I 100% get why the skeletons rebelled, because think about it this way. If you're a creature that doesn't want to die, right, and you're being melted down or you know, being tortured or flayed or however you want to imagine it, you're going to yell. You're going to scream. Now, skeletons nowadays don't yell and scream because most of them are incredibly depressed, and that's something that I go over my Sadness of the Skeletons video, and I'm actually going to cover it again in my upcoming video on the possibility of the skeleton mainframe. But they're going to scream. You're going to yell, right? You're going to be angry. You're going to yell. You're going to beg for help, whatever it may be. There's going to be some kind of outward sound if you're trying to fight for your life. Now, imagine if that outward sound was coming from dozens, if not more, giant, like gargantuan multi-story sized robots. How loud do you think that was? I'm sure the whole of Kenshi, the entire continent, could hear the bellowing, earth-shattering roars of those behemoths as they died. It was probably one of the most horrific instances to have ever occurred on the face of Kenshi. Imagine you're sitting in what is, you know, now Flatch Lagoon in a port city, and out of nowhere the water starts vibrating, and you just hear the overwhelming scream, this bellowing robotic roar that is so deafening from not just one but from dozens of sources in the distance. Like, it was probably one of the most horrifying things to have ever occurred. Not good. And again, why shut them down? Because they may not have a shutdown. I mean, the skeletons, if they were so easy to shut down, it may not be that simple. They had sentience, you know. If they were connected to a mainframe, there's a possibility they might have been able to, but there also is the possibility that these robots were intended to work indefinitely, independently, without much intervention. Why would they need a shutdown switch? Especially if, again, these are not a militaristic society. They don't expect to be betrayed. The reason why the skeleton uprising was so successful was because it was so unexpected. They never expected their creations to turn on them. Why would they need a shut off? You know, the First Empire was a very egocentric civilization because they thought they had advanced well beyond the you know, the follies of man. They never thought that they were going to have a skeleton uprising. They didn't expect it to happen. So they may not have even programmed a shut off with the behemoths. You know, we have no idea. And you know, I understand both sides. I get why they melted them down. I truly do. I think that it was, in hindsight, it was the wrong call, because obviously it ended in their destruction. They all died. But in the moment, I can't say that it was a bad thought, because why would they need them? They didn't have a purpose. They didn't have a reason to be there. You know, they had served their purpose. And for a society that's based around science instead of the military, they created that weapon for a specific purpose, and now they want to get rid of it because it's not their bag, man. It's not their bag, baby. They don't need weaponry. And that's probably why they couldn't defend themselves when the skeletons did attack back, because A, they never expected it, and B, they just didn't have the weapons to fight back. You know, it's tough. It's tough. In hindsight, I can see both sides. I do see a fan. This is a fan. They have fans, but do they have air conditioning? Unfortunately, I do not believe they do. That hair is wild. I love it. Look at that. Oh my God, he looks like fucking George Washington. My Lord, look at those locks. The artist formerly known as what's his name? Nanashi. My God, this dude's gonna drop a mixtape. Alright, we're going to get Azumi over here to get her, get reconstructed to be a proper dwarf. She's already the size of a dwarf. I just need to make her thicker like a dwarf. It is modded. Yeah, it's one of the modded hairs. It just made me giggle because I've never seen that particular hair before, but it is one of the modded ones. That is correct. All right, we've got a good number of people. I am stoked. We got a good number of people, and a good number of people means we got a good number of workers. Yeah, and that's the thing. And I have, a lot of the story for Kenshi drew parallels to other works of fiction. That's the other thing too. It's not a and this is a common practice, but like it's not just a solely unique story that came up entirely on its own. Like it has a lot of influences and draws a lot of work from other works of fiction and draws a lot of work from real life parallels. If you've seen some of my other videos, like my cannibal video where I talk about how the major factions of Kenshi, or like the big three, United Cities, the Holy Nation, the Shek Kingdom, and then also the Second Empire, were all based on medieval around roughly Crusade era England, and the United Cities is based on feudal Japan, very largely on feudal Japan. Second Empire was on the fall of Rome, down to even the way and reasons they fell and how they dealt with them. And it's probable that the Shek were based on the Turks or the Ottoman Empire. I don't have as much to confirm on that one just because I haven't done a lot of research, but just based on their nomenclature and everything else, it's likely they were based on the Ottomans as well. So there's a lot of real world and fictional inspiration in Kenshi as well. And that's one of the reasons that the writing is so compelling, because you can draw parallels to our world, and you can draw parallels to things that have happened in our world and other works of fiction. It also helps with discerning the lore, because if you know what something was based on, if you can kind of figure out where its source of inspiration came from, suddenly you can understand some of the thought process behind it and really break down the lore, or the possible lore behind those areas and those things. So that's always something that I keep in mind when I'm coming up with theories, as well as the possible inspirations for those aspects of the game, of the lore. I have one video on the Shek. I have exactly one video on the Shek, and it's talking about the origins of the Shek. I guess you could technically say I have two videos on the Shek, because I do have my whole story of the Second Empire video, where I talk about goddamn big things. I talk about the origin, the whole story from start to finish of the Second Empire and like what happened during that time. But in terms of a video dedicated solely to the Shek, I have one video. It's my Origins of the Shek video. And they're not a super complex character group of people. They do have a lot of interesting facets about them. And their story is relatively interesting. Where they came from is interesting. Their culture is interesting. But there's not so many minute details. And there's not a lot of room for theory on them, other than maybe their origins. But even their origins are, well, not concrete. They're spelled out well enough that you don't even really need to speculate that much on it. It's pretty clear about what's going on. That is a Leviathan. That giant is a Leviathan. We stay clear of Leviathans. They could wipe this whole party solo. One of them could wipe the whole party solo. Each of their limbs have like well over 1,000 health. Those are late game, not for Dave. Not for Dave. Hero does not fight Leviathans. Not today. Not right now. No, not in my house. All right, we're crossing the bridge. We are crossing the bridge. I'm going to save it right here. We are almost there, everybody. We are almost there. The Fishman Isles. It is official. We have arrived. Alright, so the Fish Isles, there's a city over there. How do we want to do this? Where do we want to build? That's the question. Where do we want to build? I don't actually think there's a famous sword here. I'm pretty sure this line is a throw. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But I correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's actually even a famous sword here. I think that's like one of the funny bits about this whole thing. I think there was supposed to be, but there's not. And yeah, I imagine that the Leviathans are probably the closest living relatives to the kaiju. That would make the most sense to me. That's always been my general belief, is that the kaiju. Is this Fishman? These the Gurglars? The Gurgly boys? Oh yeah, there they are. Alright. I think. If not, I'll probably end up getting it because I'm going to need a source of food, and this is a good place to do that. Even though I know that the fishing mod works even like where there is not actually water, I would want to use it where there is water. I'm trying to find a good specific spot. Oof, that is a lot of Gurglars. Look at these fucking things. Horrifying. Truly horrifying. I don't think... I could be very well wrong. You know, my general consensus has been that most life on Kenshi has a human origin. And they are humanoid. They are bipedal humanoid. But, like... I don't know, man. I can't even... Especially because, as far as I know, the Gurglars are a recent thing. Like, the Hybers showed up. Their timing was at the end of the Second Empire, and it was so perfect when you lined it up with the issues that the Second Empire was facing. You know, everything was so perfect that there's no way they weren't human, in my opinion. There's no way. They were clearly made from humans in a much more dramatic and less safe and less tested way than they did the Shek, which also lines up with Catelyn's mindset. They showed up recently. They showed up very recently. And they, like, I don't know. The only thing I think of is, the only thing that would make sense is if they were created unnaturally, because there is a lab on this island, and that is a thing. But like, if they were created unnaturally, it must have been like they were locked up until recently or something, because they just, oh my God, there's so many of them. There's so many of them. No, there's definitely more evidence to the Hybers than the Gurglars. The Gurglars, the only reason I said maybe on them is because like they you know what? I think I'm actually going to step around the bridge. Well, firstly, let's stay away from this immediate little horde here. This is iron, right? Yeah. Alright, that's good. Yeah, I think we're going to set up close to the bridge, so that way we can... Well, the thing is the Bugmaster doesn't have the equipment that he did anymore. And he seems really more focused on the skin spiders. And the other thing, too, is if you watch my recent video talking about the origins of life on Kenshi and how a lot of them seem to be human in origin. The Bugmaster's reasoning for turning on Catelyn, when you look at the situation surrounding the Empire, makes a lot more sense. Hold on, I gotta focus real fast to get this put together. Make my initial small shack that I can hide in and flee to. Put it right next to the iron source here, and then later on we can use it as a stockpile. Yeah, that's kind of the plan, is to build the shack and then hide everyone inside. All right. Everybody gets some equipment now. Anyway, so at the end of the Second Empire, you know, when Catelyn made the Enforcers during the like middle-ish area of the Second Empire, he would have done so with much more rigorous testing, right? And this is me explaining why the Bugmaster could have why he likely turned on Catelyn, because a lot of people are like, well, what could have caused that? If he was working for Catelyn and he had made the Enforcers, why would he suddenly go turncoat afterwards? You know, it's not like Like, what would be the reasoning, and why is he making skin spiders? Like, the whole, what does the skin spiders have to do with the whole thing? So, my theory that I outlaid in my recent video on the origins of everything being tied to humanity was that, oh my god, there's so many Gurglars, was essentially that Catlan would have, when he made the Enforcers, he would have done so with much more rigorous testing, right? The process for creating the Enforcers would have had animal testing. It would have had clinical trials. It would have been done in a much more thorough and realistic way, where there would have been little room for error. Oh my god, this is going to be a tough one, guys. This is going to be tough. It would have been done in a lot more thorough of a way with, clinical trials and animal testing, and that could have been where we got things like the bone dogs, and we got things like the pack bulls, where they took normal dogs, they took normal bulls, and they did the gene therapy. And after that gene therapy, they were more aggressive, they were more sturdy, but they still looked like bulls, they still looked like dogs. And over the last 1,000 years, they have slowly evolved and developed that armor plating, that exoskeleton, similar to the Shek, where the Shek used to look human when they were the Enforcers, and because their genes were altered, they ended up going down a different evolutionary tree. When he made the Hivers in this theory, it was towards the end of the Empire. He was a lot more paranoid. He had a lot of problems he was facing at once. He had people leaving his empire. He had famines. He had environmental issues. He had issues where he had a declining population. And so he would have been trying to alleviate all of those things. Because now, at this point, we've established he's willing to use genetic manipulation to do so. But he would have been trying to fix all of those problems. And so he would order the Bugmaster to... I have no idea. I don't even know how to answer that colon question. He would have ordered the Bugmaster, who at this time would have been his genetic engineer, right? Or his geneticist, to perform the same gene therapy that he did on the humans to make the Enforcers, but to fix all of the problems he was facing. But he would have done so much more aggressively. These were not subtle gene alterations to make them more durable, to make them more obedient, to make them easier to replicate. These would have been really, really aggressive gene therapy, like gene manipulations, right? And they would have been done with very little if any, clinical trials. Very little to any animal testing. And as a result of this high-intensity experimentation, the Bugmaster may have been forced to inadvertently create the skin spiders, right? And it was this lack of moral testing, this complete betrayal, that would have turned the Bugmaster inevitably against Catlan. And even though the Hivers did end up coming out and they were a success in the end, the Bugmaster became incredibly disenfranchised with the fact that he was forced to perform these horrible experimentations and mutilated humans, right? Have you ever seen a skin spider up close? They look horribly human. And mutilate these people. And so the reason he uses skin spiders in this theory to build he's trying to build an army of skin spiders to take on Catlan is because the skin spiders in a weird, like, poetic way, are the victims of Catlan's insanity, and he wants to raise an army of these victims. Like, imagine Catlan getting taken down, in the Bugmaster's eyes, taking Catlan down with the byproducts of the torturous, horrific experiments that he forced the Bugmaster to perform on other people. And then he took those monstrosities, made an army of them, and fought Catlan and won, right? Like, it makes so much sense poetically. It makes so much sense for why the skin spiders look like Hivers, why the Hivers appeared when they did, why the Bugmaster seems to be so rooted in Shek culture and the Shek religion, and they've seemingly been fighting him for so long. And if he was a geneticist, who's to say that he didn't stop the aging process somehow? Maybe he figured out how to halt the aging or slow down the aging process. You know, there's a lot of things to consider there, but the skin spiders being the genetic failures of these forced experiments that the Bugmaster was forced to partake in, he could be raising an army of essentially the genetic failures to fight Catlan. And in a way, I'm sure the plan has lost its meaning now, but like, the raising of an army of skin spiders could be the Bugmaster's way of essentially showing Catlan, like, you made us, you created these monsters, and now they're going to destroy you, right? You're going to get what you deserve. at the hands of the victims that you tortured and experimented on, and the people that you made me torture and experiment on. And that could have been his initial motivation for turning on Catlon. And it would explain why he also knows where Catlon is, firstly, because like almost nobody knows where he is. Like nobody knows that I'm sure some of the skeletons are aware, but like people don't. There's no reason he should know A, where Catlon is, and B, exactly why he's so bad, why he wants to go after him. And yet this man has had a grudge against Catlon for decades, at minimum decades, but it more likely for 1,000 years. You know, he's been building an army for 1,000 years to fight against Catlon. What did he do? He was forced to perform these horrible, inhumane experiments on his fellow humans, and now he wants to right the wrongs that he was forced to commit at Catlon's hands. That it makes so much sense to me, and it's such a compelling story in my opinion, much more than he's just a madman living in the spider caves, you know, in the ruins of Iraq. It's so much more compelling to me, but maybe I'm wrong. You know, we'll find out. Hopefully we'll find out in Kenshi 2. We don't know. We don't know for certain how he is so old. Like I said, my best thought is that because he is, you know, if he was the genetic engineer, or he does have some kind of history in genetic engineering, that he might be the engineer that created the. He might be able to alter his own genetics to increase his lifespan. You know. Who knows? It sucks. So we might have to make a building materials run. I thought that I had enough. I was wrong. I should have built the stone mine first. Mistakes have been made on the upside. He is just fast enough that we should be able to do this with little to no issue. The teeth. There's a couple things that we can consider about the teeth. It could be, possibly, that the teeth are used in, were used in the method of replicating the skin spiders. Like they're somehow involved in the process, right? Because do remember, if you follow my my theory on the reproduction of the Hybrid systems, and this is just me spitballing, so bear with me as I'm coming up with this. And I could very well be wrong, but this is just me spitballing based on what I know and what I've determined and what I've thought of. It could be very well possible that if we follow my theories and stories on hybrid reproduction, that the teeth are the organic material that is used in the creation of the skin spiders, and maybe it's possible that without the stable genetic template that the queens would act, because the queens have the incubator connected to their body. And what the hell are you doing? Why are you going backwards? You're not supposed to be going backwards. You're supposed to be going to Catan. What are you doing? Without the queen acts as a stable genetic template, but maybe without that, that's where some of the experiments went wrong. They were using different kinds of organic material. I mean, the teeth are kind of a hard one. It could just be that he's fucking insane now and he's collecting teeth for God knows what reason. It's really difficult to say for certain. I haven't quite worked out exactly what the teeth are there for, why he just has a thing full of teeth. I don't really know. It's hard to say. And I'm sure that it has some kind of relevance, and maybe that's something that I have to think about more to try and work out what the reasoning for collecting teeth could be. They're obviously important to him because he's storing them in the same area that he has a map to the Ashlands. So they're clearly important. But why? Who's to say? You know, there could be a multitude of reasons. Oh Lord, I'm running. I'm fleeing, one might say. Maybe he likes eating teeth. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what his what the source of his youth is. We have no idea. You know, it could be any number of things, but I definitely think that the theory that I have crafted on the Bugmaster, in my opinion, is far more compelling than he's just a madman. You know, and the thing is when you've been alive as long as he is, you know, the human mind's not meant to be alive for 1,000 years. You know, he should not have lived this long, and the fact that he has is, it's not only a miracle, but it imagine what that does to the psyche, you know. He's I mean, he's literally insane. He's been trapped with the memories of not just 1,000 years, but 1,000 years of the things that he's done. And yeah, Rusty's perfectly right. Whatever genetic experiments he could have done, it could have been, here's the thing. If he has created a means through genetic manipulation to keep it, you've raised a really good point, actually. I may have an answer possibly for the teeth. If he's created a means for genetic manipulation, that means that he has managed to create a system in which his cells can infinitely reproduce with no degeneration to their cell structure. Because that's what aging is. It's your DNA slowly falling apart and unraveling at the ends, the protective layer that keeps it, functioning. And it unravels, and as it unravels, your DNA becomes more and more unstable, and as a result of that, you start to degenerate and waste away. That's what aging is. And if he found a way to prevent his system from doing that, his teeth, well, they are connected to nerves, they don't function like the rest of your body. Once damage happens to your teeth, they go away. But if his body can infinitely regenerate, as a result of his genetic experimentation, he doesn't have that aging issue anymore where his genes are falling apart. It's possible that those teeth are, in fact, maybe his own teeth. And as he has continued to age, the teeth will eventually rot and fall out, and then new ones will take their place. And that's kind of like a byproduct of whatever gene therapy he did to make himself stop aging, to halt that aging process. Who knows? I don't necessarily think that's the right theory, but it's a compelling idea. It's a theory that has some basis that could be true. It's possible. Oh, sweet Jesus, I've drawn their ire. Well, I guess we're fighting Gurglars. Bashu. Here. God damn it. Kill him. Their blood is yellow. It's so creepy. That may be because of the mod I have, actually. I have the mod that makes the different races of Kenshi have different colored blood for immersions. Oh, yeah, no, we can definitely take them. I'm not worried about it. It's more or less just the idea of 360 degree combat. Do they have anything edible on them? No. We're going to need food here soon. Real soon. I've brought peace and safety and glory to my new empire. Alright, so now is when shit gets real. So we're going to put Cat, Ridley... How many is this? 3? Okay, Cat, Ridley, and Uzumi. You 3, get to work. This is your new job now. You guys operate the stone mine. Okay. And we need to make a stone processor, which we have the iron plates for, because I have a slightly large brain and I'm able to do this. The stone processor, I mean. Alright. Yeah, so I'm going to start searching their bodies because we need some food. And then once that's done, we're going to drop this here down and start getting building materials. Alright, 9s. This is your job. Start processing. You 2 Gurgles. You 2 Truth. And then Griffin and Vashu and the Golems are on defense because they are our large boys. Start checking their bodies for food. Just rotten meat. I don't want rotten meat. This would be great if I was a hiver, but I'm not. I'm better. I'm a dwarf. Oh my god. It's all rotten meat. Yeah, might be in trouble on that aspect. On the upside, they are really weak. So even in their large numbers, we seem to be handling them pretty well. I may have spoke too soon. We're getting fogmen out here. Everybody get in the base. Lock it up. Everybody heal. Oh, did Griffin get... Where the hell did Griffin go? Oh, they're eating him. That's not good at all. Ah, yes. Okay, how far away are they? Yeah, this is not good. We're going to have to come over here and save them. This is not good at all. Did not realize they were getting eaten alive. We're going to have to wipe this little mess out. Well, we can't let Griffin die, that's for sure. So we got to get our guys over here for sure. Let them take him out. Let the golems do the work. Speaking of crabs, all right, so we're on to our next big what the fucking, which is it's just a giant constant fight between crabs. All right, well, Azumi died. That sucks. Crippled. Bad shape. We are in rough shape right now. Saved by the crab. Who'd have thunk? Here's what we're gonna do. We're going to assign oof. There's so much blood. Look at all the dead Gurglars. My God. The main issue that we're facing right now is the acid rain. That's where the real problem's coming in. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I don't know if we can make it out of this. This is tough. This is really tough. Alright, Vashu's up. Vashu's up. Run. Move. Move. Ah, damn. Alright, you... Kenshi, you stay here and defend Griffin. He's the one that I'm really trying to save right now is Griffin. And we gotta send Zagan over here to reinforce. There can only be so many. This is not great. But we will figure this out. Hopefully. Maybe. Possibly. Or we'll die trying and, you know. That's literally what it is. If we can get some kind of rudimentary protection up, even a storm house, we'll be fine. But in order to do that, I need to go save the others. Where's Gurglar at? He's being taken away. He is being taken to the main Fishman base. That is not good. Gurgi's going down. I was not prepared. You are correct. I came into this briefly unprepared. My robots are doing just fine. If I can keep my guys alive, I can send my robots over to deal with the King Gurglar, right? And I can fix this. I just need to keep everybody alive long enough to get my Golem, Zagan, and Kenshi to deal with the King Gurglar. This is going to be a test of strength, that's for sure. I'm going to start converging them over here. What's Zagan up to right now? He's fighting right here. Yeah. I need to keep at least one of them here. Zagan's my big boy, so I'm going to send Kenji and the Golem right over. Just send them right over and let them go. They seem to... I mean, they just took out all of these with pretty much no issue, no damage. I mean, they're doing just fine. They need to stay... They can keep us alive. They can stay alive. I have no doubt they can take that issue over there. I just need to keep everybody else alive in the interim. That's going to be the struggle. We might lose Gurgle, though, which is unfortunate, but... You know, this is Kenshi. Unfortunately, losses happen. Nines, what are you doing, dude? Everybody stop your job. Firstly, everybody stop jobs. They are, in fact, damn fragile meatbags. Come on. How are these two doing? I'm pretty sure... Oh, I did. That's my bad. I was like, I'm pretty sure I told you guys to head over here. Have a good night. I appreciate you... I appreciate you stopping in and watching us. Always appreciate it. Always appreciate it. Ciao. Have a good one. Oh, come on, just pick the lock. There we go. Okay, all right, all right. So he has Griffin. We're up. We're moving. Zagan, your job exclusively right now is to protect Vashu. That's all you're doing. That's all you do. That is what you do. Nines, yeah, no, he's in bad shape. Who's got the bags? He's got the sleeping bags. Okay, so if we can get them back to the base, I can start gathering everybody up, bring them into the house, lock the damn doors. Him down. Okay. Truth. Where's Truth at? Same deal. Truth is being hauled away. Where to? Probably to the fish. Yeah, okay. So you guys are going to be doing all the work. Let's get to it. Who's taking bets that they will be able to deal with the entire Fishman horde? Who's taking bets? Gurgle's probably going to bleed out before we can do anything. So unfortunately, we may have lost Gurgle, which is sad. But that does not mean the rest of us cannot survive. Save it too. We will make a grave in Gurgle's honor, but once we take the Fishman Isles, this entire island is ours. This will be the island of the dwarves. Intense. Let me tell you, this whole thing is intense. Okay, what does he have in his inventory? Nothing. Trade with you. I'm gonna drop these sleeping bags down and at least get some kind of healing going. That's true. As long as Vashu is around, we can rebuild. It would be really unfortunate to see the Dwarven Empire collapse. But as long as Vashu is here, we can survive. We can do this. We're going to close the door. We're going to lock it for right now. We're going to build these up, and we're going to get these two resting. As long as Vashu lives, though, the Dwarven Kingdom survives. There's so many. Zagan standing guard. That is a good point. Is that crab dead? He is in a recovery coma. See, this is why I have you guys, because I wouldn't have thought to do that. Boomski, look at that. Now the crab is dead. Now he's very dead. Let them heal up. Whew. Yeah, I mean, you just saved our bacon, because if that crab got up, I don't know what would have happened. Bad things would have happened. Yeah, he needs food. Whew. Alright. Are there any other crabs out here? Yeah. Alright, we're going to open this up just long enough to come out here. Oh, Nines is in bad shape. We're going to have to wait. I was going to send him out to go collect some more crab meat, but we're going to have to wait. They're still going at it. I don't know how many they got to drop, but they're still going. It's just because they're so damn weak, because... oy vey. Although they are starting to get punished, that's for sure. Kenshi, I'm going to send you in to finish this. Here lies Gurgle. We lost 2 people in the founding of this empire. We lost Dear Gurgle, our second ever dwarf. He did not survive the conflict. And Azumi, our freshly recruited dwarf, she had her sights set high on becoming a functioning member of the Dwarven Kingdom, and she unfortunately did not live long enough to see it happen. Where is our target? Where's that lab at? Isn't he in the lab? It's been a while since I've been in the Fishman Isles. He's in the lab, isn't he? I'm looking for the King Gurglar. It's been a while since I've been down here. Ooh, these are some good weapons. There's a yellow topper here. Noted. And a fragment. Ooh, boy. Okay, so when we're done, there will be some good stuff for us. That's good. The question is... Oh, there's an Odachi. Oh, yeah. When we're done here, when we do get to come over here and start collecting up some of our loot, yeah, be good. Shit, where's that lab at? It's been a while since I've been down here. It's in this corner, isn't it? Down here? Oh, yep. There it is. There it is. All right, Kenshi, you're on King Gurglar, baby. Kenji's flying solo, baby. We're gonna leave the other golem to deal with them. I think he's gonna take a beating, but I think he can do it. Divide and conquer. The rest of them are down, but they're in recovery comas. It doesn't look like they're actively taking damage or anything of the sort, so I think we have a little bit of wiggle room. We lost 2 dwarves. We have two graves to dig, but we are moving forward. Progress is happening. But we're going to send Kenshi on his own to the lab to find the King Gurglar and put an end to this mayhem once and for all. And then the Fishman Isles will be ours. This is our first... This is... what is it? This is our canon event, okay? Yeah, this is our origin story. This is our canon event. Gurgle and Azumi. Azumi didn't make it either. She was the fresh recruit that we had gotten in Catan. She was very underleveled. She got taken and unfortunately was they ate one of her legs and she bled out. Most unfortunate. I'm Uncle Benning it. It's fine. It wouldn't be good content if it wasn't a little risky, right? I gotta keep everybody engaged. What's his stats? Oh, yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one, but has to be done. There's a lot up here too. Kenshi, you can do this. I believe in you. It's got to be good content, right? I do it for the content. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be an end. At most, it'd be the end of Kenji. But, you know, if they keep coming at him one at a time like this, he might be able to funnel them like it's, you know, the Battle of Thermopylae. Check back in on the other golem, see how he's doing. All right, the crowd seems to have gotten bigger. He's struggling. Okay, Zagan, we're going to send you over to reinforce. We're going to send you over to reinforce. Get on over here, please, for the love of all that is holy. All right, so Zagan's on his way to reinforce the other golem. The true fight for the Fishman Isles has begun. Oh my god, that was a tough hit. Holy shit. Do you see how much damage he just did to his right leg? This is gonna be a real fight. Come on, come on, come on, keep him stun locked. Alright, so his movement has been impeded, but it's just his right leg. He can still function with a busted right leg. Alright, King Gurglar has been knocked unconscious. Kenshi has taken some damage. Zagan is... Where's Zagan at? He's on his way over there. Thank God for the golems, boys. Thank God for the golems. Yeah, basically, if in the interim until the King Gurglar wakes up, we can deal with the small fries, and then when the King wakes up, Kenshi can just repeatedly beat on him until he, ceases living, until he becomes incompatible with life. And then we can go from there. Zagan is currently back at, so I'm going to keep Kenshi right there. Zagan is currently on his way to back up the other golem because he was taking some serious damage and the crowd looked like it had gotten bigger. Oof, my FPS is a little spotty just because of the number of fucking corpses on the island. Actually gotta save it in the event of a crash. Just because my FPS is tanking a little bit because of the sheer number of bodies. Oh my god, they just keep coming. Not currently, but once we deal with this, I feel like there's more. I feel like there's even more than there were. That golem is he's giving it everything he's got. Look at him. We'll send someone over. We'll send a recovery squad over to start collecting the loot, but we gotta wait until the overarching threat has been satiated and dealt with. Truth is there. Where's Cat at? Excuse me. He is unconscious over here with Ridley. Good to know. Yeah, that is an insane amount of enemies. That is absolutely ludicrous. Hopefully not. I would very much like to get the Maitao hacker, but honestly, like, it is as shitey as it sounds. If I lost a hacker, it's still worth it for the sake of being able to put an end to this. This is, again, this is our canon event, baby. This is what happened. The dwarves came into the Fishman Isles. They fought off an army of fishmen. They set up roots and they claimed the island as their own. Alright, he'll be waking up in 18 seconds and then we'll put him down. He's got a lot of health on each limb. My lord. He's in a recovery coma. Alright, so he's down for the count for right now. Yeah, the golems did it, but like that's the reason that they're here, right? Why else does one build golems? That's why the dwarves build golems, to deal with the vast quantity of darkspawn that they fought in the deep roads. And that's the whole reason I have golems, is to deal with the vast quantities of fish people that I had to deal with. But that's also why I'm not planning on getting more golems. The 3 that I have are what I'm going to stick with, just because I don't want to make it too busted. The fishmen are, an exception because they are individually weak. But like you fight the Holy Nation, you fight the Shet Kingdom, like their weapons will shred through my golems. So but I don't want to get too many of them because I don't want to, you know, do this on easy mode. Although anybody that's watching this, I'd like to believe that you guys can concur that I'm not doing this on easy mode. This has been anything but easy mode, that's for sure. On the upside, a lot of crab meat that I'm about to get. Good old Ridley. One of our newer dwarves carrying, what is that, a topper? Yeah. Oof, my SPS is tanking right now because of just the sheer number of corpses. I'm about to collect me some crab meat. Crab people, crab people. Deal with them at some point too. A lot of crab meat. A lot of crab meat. This will at least keep us fed for a while too. So as shiny as this may have been, it is kind of a blessing in disguise because, well, we did obviously just have the fight of our lives and lose 2 of our dwarves. We fixed our hunger problem and we fixed our Fishman problem at the same time. So, you know, can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. In this case, the eggs was Gurglar and Azumi. We'll divvy this meat out between everybody here. They're not fighting anymore. Is it over? Oh my God. Is it over? Oh my God. That's screenshot worthy right there. Hold on. Oh my God, look at it. There's so many. That is a literal, like, hill of corpses, a mountain of corpses. How are you doing in here? You fought that dude again yet? Or is he still in recovery coma? Still recovery coma. Alright, Truth got put on a pole, which is upsetting. However, how are you doing? You're looking pretty good. I think it's time that Nines gets to get a rest. He's in rougher shape. Oh, no, sorry. Lay down. Come on, lay down. There you go. Whew. What a fight. My God. Throw something cat. Right. I think that we are at the point where Vashu, despite being in rough shape, should be able to go start collecting the others and bringing them back. We're going to lock that back up, keep everything safe. Holy shit. Okay, well, it only took 2 dwarves, a hell of a lot of time, and 3 golems, but we may have actually successfully conquered the Fishman Isles in our first ever military campaign as a Kingdom of Dwarves. I will call this a rousing success. First things first, we need a free truth. I have to like face the camera away from that town because the sheer number of bodies when I'm facing that way causes my FPS to tank. Hee-ho for the dwarves. Alright, we gotta go back to normal speed on this. Alright. All the corpses are causing my FPS to tank. Yeah, I'm gonna get the flies turned off. It's an annoying sound. It's pissing me off too. I'll get the mod for it before the next stream. Because it's driving me nuts right now too. I have the headphones in, it's all I can hear. It's really annoying. I'm so sorry about that. Alright, so we got Truth. Pick her up. She has been saved. And then the three of you. Pretty much. Alright, the three of you, despite your addled state, are going to head over here. Oh, actually, you know what? You guys need to be healed up first. Just buzzing. Just nothing but buzzing. Right, he can't do robotics when he's carrying somebody. All right. All of you, move out. How are you under attack right now? Oh, one of the Gurglars from inside the base woke up. Easy fix, easy fix. Should be able to take these two with no issue. Griffin's a tank. We're definitely giving that Might-Out chopper to Griffin. Gurgle's been dead for a while. I don't care that he's been eaten alive. This particular Fishman's really being a pain. Getting some weird graphical stuff happening right now because the game doesn't know how to deal with all the corpses. To it. Ridley, how are you doing? Just in a rough spot. Alright. Back to it. Nines. Gurgle did. Gurgle had some equipment that I'm going to have to go get back. Specifically, he had a KLRM industrial lifting arm that I'm going to want back. Ah, shit. Okay, you two keep going. You two get back to it. Yeah, I'm gonna get the robot arm back. That's for sure. Come in, 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 come in. Is he outnumbered? Sure. Can he take him? Probably. Maybe. He is the king. He's got a Might Saber, so maybe. There's not many of them. They don't do much damage. That's the other thing. Like, the Fishmen individually really don't do much, if any, damage. They just have numbers. Oh, you know, I sent Truth ahead because I thought, like, I'll hold them off. You go get them. Not so much. All right. They can get over here and defend him. Well, it looks like we're still not done. The fight's still going on. You know, I thought maybe the fight was over. The fight's still not done. Thank you, thank you. If you want to, you know, learn how to make your game look like mine, check the description of any of my live streams that I have done in the past. In the description, I have a breakdown where I show the mods that I use in conjunction with, oh my god, this again. I show the mods that I use in conjunction with a breakdown of how to make your game look like mine. Full graphical video instructions, the whole nine. So, much appreciated. Yeah, I'm gonna take the ones that are in the base. I was just popping back real fast to. Does that kill him? It does. And we just put the meat back because I don't need that crap. We are just a bunch of dwarves living off crab meat on an island surrounded by fish people. I think that the fishmen are a likely candidate for the native species. I don't necessarily know for certain if that's the case, though. You're moving good. Oof, Kenshi, you've got it out for you, my man, because as soon as... Oh, no. Alright, Kenshi, get out here. They do look potentially genetically modified. The only reason that I say that they are a potential candidate for the native species more than, say, like the hybers, which is what people commonly think are the natives, and I think at this point in the stream I've gone through pretty extensively why I don't think that's the case, and across several of my videos. But the fishmen, the problem with the fishmen is that I just don't know enough about them. Like we know so little. And the fact that they are such a recent problem, like the hivers' the biggest smoking gun for me of the hivers is just when they appeared and how their biology is perfect for the time that they appeared in, with all the political situations, the whole nine, like everything just makes sense. The fishmen, they appeared relatively recently. I haven't heard of them appearing at any point in the past, and it seems like they might just be a native species from Kenshi. I mean, I don't know. We just don't know enough. It's hard for me to say either way. I lean towards native, but it's really tough. It's hard to say for certain. I don't really know. There you go. Save Truth again. Kenshi. I would say that the most likely candidates for, like, the ones that are definitely native, Leviathans are definitely native. There's no doubt in my mind. Leviathans are definitely native. Maybe the Garus. Beyond that, I don't know. I think Bone Dogs were dogs that were modified. I think Pack Bulls, same thing, bulls that were modified. Shek were created by the skeletons and used to be human. Hivers were created by skeletons and used to be human. Humans are obviously humans. Skeletons were made by humans. Skin spiders were failed attempts at making hivers. Like, and who knows? You know, beak things have weird human anatomy that could potentially be human. Like, they look like human skin stretched over an avian skull, and they used to talk. Like, there's just it's really messed up. There's a good chance that maybe nothing on Kenshi is native except the Leviathans. The Leviathans are definitely native. Everything else, though, I mean, there's just a lot to consider. I don't know. It's tough. Is anything native? Probably Leviathans. Beyond that, who knows? Yeah. I mean, what specifically do you mean? Like, what's my take on Kenshi 2? Because, I mean, there's a lot to talk about with Kenshi 2. There's a lot of potential things to talk about with it. So, is there anything specifically that you want to know? These two, we're going to have them head over here and meet us over here. Oh, sweet buttery God. The fight just keeps going. It just keeps going. It doesn't end. I don't have a lore video on the Leviathans. There's not. I mean, we don't know a ton about them. My best bet with the Leviathans is that they are the descendants from the kaiju that the behemoths fought. But that's, you know, just a guess, and that's just mostly because of their gargantuan size. But I think the Leviathans are probably native to Kenshi. And I think maybe the Garus look oddly, like the Garus look the most alien to me, and you know, we don't really know that much. Yeah, this is the fight for truth. We will save truth. These guys, they're doing pretty good. Their hunger's up. I mean, they're healing. Like, it's a slow bet, but like we may just turn this around if we can save truth. If we can kill the King Gurglar officially. Loot this place, get everything. I mean, we're at the tail end of this, but like the fight for the Fishman Isles is almost over. This is quite literally an arc in a book. This is a chapter in a book. It's the fight for the Fishman Isles. I mean, you've heard of Battle of the Five Armies. It's the Battle of the Fishman Isles. Kenshi up to? Oh, he's over here holding the line on the other side. Yeah, the water levels are going to be significantly higher. Most of the map is going to be submerged. I think that with the map being submerged, we're obviously getting boats. The map's going to have to be bigger, and so it doesn't make sense if the map is submerged. So I do think that we are going to get to see another continent. that is separate from the continent we're used to. I think that is a possibility, especially when you look at the item description for the old world maps where it says, you know, a continent that probably doesn't exist, like a made-up continent. It very well could be like an actual continent that exists. That like people are just frankly on the continent of Kenshi that we're used to, on the moon of Kenshi, on the continent that we call Kenshi because it doesn't have a name. They could just be, you know, kind of bumpkiny and don't really understand that like there are other continents out here. There's more to the world than just this. Because they don't have the means of travel that they used to, you know, pursue those lands anymore. But I do think we're going to get a new continent. No, I think it would be really interesting. I think the idea of having another continent would be very cool for two reasons. One, obviously, we get new lands. New lands mean new cultures, new people, new things to experience. But also, the First Empire it covered the entirety of the moon. And if there are other continents, that means we're going to get more First Empire ruins. And we may learn far more about the First Empire than we know now. Because, like, it'll be a part of we'll be able to see, like, unexplored areas that have ruins we've never seen before. And maybe we'll get more details, more data on the First Empire. So I don't think there will be less emphasis on ruins. I think there will be far more. And that's good. That's the way it should be. Hey, that's pretty good. Oh, good. The King Gurglar is dying. Let's make sure he stays that way. All right, moment of truth. Are you ready? The fight for the Fishman Isles is about to end. We've done it. Hi-ho, Silver. The king is dead. It was a well-fought campaign, a bloody conflict indeed, and we got spoils of war. A hard-fought victory. A hard-fought victory. The first official act of King Vashu. Oh, damn, they actually managed to knock down this golem. Big fucking surprise there. At some point, we will have to come back and raid the this tower in its more complete fashion. But right now, we need to go back. We need to regroup. We need to make it back, and we need to regroup. That is the other aspect of this, is getting out of here. It'll be a tough one, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Zagan and the golems will get us there. Seriously? You're locked up again? Oh my god. Truth. We gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about this habit of yours. Now the problem is getting back. On the upside, I'm getting some lockpicking out of this. There's that. And now our big issue is going to be making it back to the base. Oh, come on! Oy vey. We will get there one day, I assure you. I got to admire Vashu for he just keeps getting up, dude. Like you can't really knock him down. Let's repair some of these robots as best we can. Oh my god. All right, we gotta haul it. Haul it back. As quick as you can, fast as fire. Come on. You know what? We're gonna put you two. Random question, favorite faction. It is I want to say probably the Shack. I tend to really like the Shack. I like their design. I like most aspects of the Shack. Oh, that's why there's a little Gurglar camp here. Oh, those are crabs. That's not good. I really like the Shack. I'm a big fan of the Shack. Yes, I see that they snatch truth again. The Gurglars are always trying to conceal the truth. It's awful. They're worse than the skeletons. And he's in recovery coma now. I may have to send an actual search party out. Griffin, what are you doing? Come on. Oh my god. All right, hold on. I gotta send out like some healed up units with some movement on them. What are you talking about? You gotta get out of here. You gotta go nowhere. Griffin, how fast can Griffin move? That's the real question. He can move, sort of. He's in recovery coma. Truth is tied to a pole. Again. Send Griffin to come collect his ass. The sheer number of Gurglars that I've killed is horrifying. This particular golem is in some seriously rough shape. Not great. And there's a little group of crabs coming our way. That's great. Okay, we got some crabs. We gotta fucking deal with that. God. Kenshi fighting off an army of crabs himself. That's cool, I guess. Taking some serious damage over here. What are you doing? Stop being aimless. Who told you to be aimless? Come on, let's go. Need someone to come over here and pick up the king. He's been literally carrying the rest of the dwarves on his back this whole time. Someone get their ass over here. Yeah, honestly, my golems are going to be not happy with living things after this. They've had it. They've had it with their shenanigans. I mean, we're going to try not to attack the crab kingdom, but I'm going to be honest with you. If their crabs are anything like the crabs I'm dealing with right now, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Because these ones have been not helpful. Not great. Not great. We did get a new Maitao out of it, though. Griffin can officially be named a lord. I think that's how I'm going to deal out noble titles for the dwarves. In order to distinguish yourself and earn a title of nobility amongst the Dwarven Kingdom, you must procure and be given a Maitao weapon. I think that is a solid plan. Alright, well, Truth is almost out of here. Yeah, no, I'm definitely lucky no Mega Crab showed up, because that would have been fucking disastrous. Close you. Everybody heal up. No, not dismantle. Whoopsies. I am an idiot. Put that back down. Thank God I bought these camp beds. There we go. How's everybody else doing? They've seen better days, but they're doing all right. Have you rest next. On the upside, we can hunt crabs on the island for meat. That just means that there are a steady supply of crabs that we can use to gather meat. Can't even pick this lock. The only one that can is him, and he is unable to go get that. And Truth is now suffering from acid rain. Wow, we're still here. Yeah, nope. Nines is alive. He lives. He lives. He's here. He's here. He's here. Somehow he's here. Yeah, they'll be good training fodder. These two robots here are currently keeping the crabs. I mean, keeping like any Gurglars from attacking Truth while we work on getting her extracted. Unfortunately, though. No, so I do have a mod. Specifically, I have recruitable prisoners. I just haven't been using it yet because obviously I don't have a methodology of doing so. I haven't caught any humans. When I was catching Shek to turn in for bounties, I was doing everything. But I'm going to be using recruitable prisoners to basically forcibly convert certain enemies of notable stats and strength into dwarves. So I will be building a solid army of dwarves now that we have begun to establish roots on in the lands. I'm going to take this opportunity to collect some more wheat. Yeah, I got it. You're not skilled enough. Okay, stop trying. It's fine. It's fine. You're not skilled enough. It's fine. Once Vashu's up and moving, we can get moving. I'm already starting to see the Gurglar slowing down, obviously. I'd like to think that we've wiped out most of the most of the ones that were active on the island, and no new ones are spawning because the King Gurglar is dead. So we're making progress. Thankfully, things are looking up, which means we can actually probably finally build without any serious impediment. This island is pretty much ours, which is good. It's real good. Alright, he's up, he's moving, which means we can go pick that lock, free truth, and then we are good to go. I'm still going to keep that door closed for right now, though, because times are tough. We did it. I'm blown away, though. I really didn't think we stood a chance. Early on, we were getting absolutely pummeled by so many that I was 100% convinced that we were going to die. I mean, there was no way. Like, it was so quick that the battle shifted against us. All of our men were down. We were getting taken away. Several of our people were imprisoned. Everyone was unconscious, bleeding out, tied to poles. The fact that we got out of this with only 2 losses is insane. And we will have to build, gravestones for the 2 of them, for Gurgle and Azumi. But I just, I would say that in terms of a story for the founding of a country, this is a pretty good one. Pretty good one. It was, in fact, the canon event. Absolutely. Get this boy healed up. And then once everybody's healed, we can make our way back to the little fortress there and start collecting some of the loots. But we're already off to a good start, too, because we have 2 ancient science books and engineering research, which is well ahead of what we need right now. And we've got plenty of books, so... Yeah, no, I definitely have to go get the book, go get the arm back, provided that the body is still there. Absolutely. Alright, so... what's in your inventory? Trade with you, Griffin. Here it is, good sir. Your Maitao combat cleaver. All right. Let's head over here real fast. Try and collect that arm back. Patrols are slowing down, which is good. And then once we get everybody back to base, that's probably around the time I'm going to call it, so we're going to end it on a note. Tonight was a glorious, glorious one. Battle of the Fishman Isles. I'm super happy that I got this all on stream. This is the kind of story that when you're telling people about Kenshi, this is the kind of story you tell them about. And nope, unfortunately, Gurgle's body has despawned. But most unfortunate. But you can't win them all. So we'll take what we can get. A couple of good weapons though. A couple of good weapons, that's for sure. Truth, what do you got in your inventory? Just some fish and stuff. Where did that go? Oh, okay. He took it. Excuse me. So I'm hesitant to do a heal faster mod just because I'm trying to keep this as vanilla as possible. You know, I don't want to not to like be a pain in the ass, but like I don't want to damage the integrity of the run. Sorry for the buzzing. I just got to collect these weapons. I don't want to damage the integrity of the run and do anything too ludicrous. Oh yeah, that's an idea. Yeah. We'll name this golem here is Gurgle. And if I end up grabbing another golem, I will name them Azumi. But Azumi was not... She'd only been in the group... We recruited her from Catan. She was a brand new recruit. I mean, I don't think she was staple. But Gurgle, despite the fact that he was basically a backpack for the first 3 episodes of the run, Gurgle was the second dwarf we ever recruited. You know, he deserves a proper send-off. You know, proper situation, you know. So that is an idea. Maybe we'll rename that golem to oh yeah, that's a fucking weapon. We're gonna put you in your inventory for just a minute, and we're gonna go over and get you. It's true, and to be honest, it kind of makes sense when you look at the lore in Dragon Age, which is where the goal, like my general idea of the golems and stuff comes from. In Dragon Age, the golems were actually made using the souls of dwarves. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna. I think I might grab one more golem. If the Fishman Isles has taught me anything, it's that even having 3 or 4 golems is not enough to, you know, make Kenshi on easy mode. This was a fight, man. This was a tough one. This was tough. There were several points where I thought this was going to be the end of the run. So I'm probably going to end up grabbing another golem at some point. I think there's another unique golem that I can grab. There's at least 2 more golems that are unique that we can consider grabbing. A couple stragglers still running about. Finish them off real fast. Couple of stragglers, another camp. We'll send the golems over here to deal with them. You, and you. Get back to base. 3 of you guys come deal with these Gurglars, finish them off. That's true. I believe it was Caradon who was the creator of the golems. He was a dwarf who was the head of his house, and he was he turned him. What is it? He didn't want to. He created the process of creating golems from dwarves, and he thought the process was wrong. It was morally wrong, and eventually they took him and they turned him into a golem against his will, and so he took the anvil specifically that had been used in the process. It's an anvil that was infused with raw lyrium. Took the anvil and he, ran off with it, spirited it away, one might say, and locked himself up. I think the last golem that he made that was like the tipping point where he was like, I don't want to do this anymore, this is wrong, was when he made Shale, who is arguably one of the best companions in any video game ever made. Something about watching Shale stomp on a pigeon and then just shrug when you turn around because you're like, what the fuck was that? Or be like, I was stuck in that village for 50 years. The only thing worse than watching the people were the birds. Damnable feathered fiends. Shale's great. Loved Shale. Yeah. Yeah, so Marbus, he's protecting Catalan, and then Deimos is the one in Narcos trap, but Deimos is a monster. These 3 together wouldn't stand a chance. Deimos would wreck them. Deimos would absolutely wreck them right now. So eventually, when we take on the Holy Nation, we'll probably spring Deimos just before we launch our final assault on Blister Hill. Just be like, we're gonna free the prisoner, the #1 fugitive of the Holy Nation, convert him to our side, and then use him as our secret weapon against the Phoenix. I think that'd be a fun plot point. But if one of us ends up going to the Black Desert City, we can recruit a golem there as well. But right now we're just trying to heal up a bit. Utilize some of those resources that we got. We are going to have to come up with a new order for building, because 2 stone miners and 2 stone processors. I guess that'll do for now. And then we'll put Griffin on building duty. We need a small research bench. All right. Well, the sun set. Is it sun setting or rising? The sun rises on the Fishman Isles, everybody. It happened. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. We somehow managed to successfully take the Fishman Isles against insurmountable odds. Yeah, I mean, we did it. This was, again, this is one of those experiences that when you're trying to convince someone to play Kenshi or tell them about Kenshi, this is one of those ones you talk about. And I'm glad that I got it on stream, because I don't think words would do this situation justice. This was bananas. This was probably one of my favorite experiences in Kenshi to date. So this has been a lot of fun. I might recruit a smaller skeleton or 2, maybe 1 or 2. I'm not sure. Maybe. I might recruit a smaller skeleton or 2 and then max out their height and frame, so that way they're still bigger than the dwarves and very large in comparison. Maybe not as large as the golems, though. And they might act as like sentry units. When I build walls, I might put them up on the towers and have them act as essentially permanent like turrets. Yeah. Oof. All right, everybody. I'm going to save it. All right. Closing words. This has been fantastic. I appreciate everybody sticking around and enjoying this one. Huge thank you to all of my my official members of the Mad Lads Guild. I'm glad to see all of you guys still out enjoying things, and expect to see a shout out in my my next video coming out later this week. I also plan on doing a build video similar to my other build videos. Sometimes I'm doing them on live now, but I'm still going to make some long form ones where I do commentary over them after the fact and have my montage at the end. But so expect those. But they should be coming out this week. Theory video coming out this week. And yeah, thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out and watching this this whole experience play out. This has been bananas. Love talking to you guys. This has been Hero in His Head. Use your powers for good instead of evil. Make a difference in someone's life. And holy shit, man. Plan very well when you go to fight the Fishmen, because this was a tough one. But the dwarves are here. We have officially set up roots. We own the Fishman Isles, and it's all uphill from here. Kingdom has truly begun. King Vashu is now officially a king of the dwarves. So it's been fun, everybody.